State, playing their SWAC conference opener against the division rival, the SWAC Alabama State Hornets, coming in at 0-1 with a non-conference loss this season. And welcome to the booth, along with my main man, my good friend and former NFL quarterback Jay Walker. I'm Eric Clemens. Thanks for spending part of your Saturday with us on ESPN's family of networks following college football for you. And when you talk about the Braves of Alcorn State, the two-time back-to-back defending SWAC champs, you talk about number 10 on offense because he's there's Mr. Everything.
What do they call it? The straw that stirs the drink.
Absolutely.
In the case of Alcorn State, it's dynamic wide receiver / running back Marquise Walford. So versatile. He can handle the ball out of the backfield. On the jet sweep there, you see him with the ability to run the football well. He's a good receiver, great athleticism on display. And then once you figure out, I know how to stop Marquise Walford, they use him as a decoy, and all of a sudden his rest of his teammates become that much more effective. Marquise Walford, one of the best players in all FCS football.
And you have to match him on the defensive side of the ball, and none better than the reigning defensive player of the year in the conference, 32, Courtney Berry.
Sideline to sideline Berry is what I call him. He's always around the football. Inside linebacker, defending SWAC player of the year, can shoot the gap on the blitz, has a high football IQ. When you want to see Courtney Berry, just follow the football, and you're going to see Courtney Berry from Alabama State, one of the best linebackers in the country, on display. This should be a fantastic matchup.
Alabama State has elected to receive the opening kickoff as we get ready for the official head coaching debut of Fred McNair for Alcorn State. Brian Jenkins, the head coach on the other side for Alabama State, beginning his second season. And
look there, Fred McNair, and obviously the name McNair means so much to this part of the country. The original Aaron McNair, but you know a lot has to be going through his mind right now, considering he played his college football here. He was a star here. His brother was a star here, and now he is the head man in charge here on the reservation, as they like to call it.
Marquell Beckwith, one of those back deep to receive. And it is coming to the near side of the field where Beckwith takes it at his 6. And Beckwith met hard right just before he reaches the 20-yard line. And that's where Alcorn State will defend, and Alabama State will start at 1st and 10. And we talked about the quarterback situation. We do have a flag on the play as well. We'll get to the quarterback situation in a moment. Flags usually on kickoffs and plays like that usually means somebody made an illegal block down there. Let's see. Scott Johnson is our referee. And Alcorn is walking back toward its own goal.
Dead ball, personal foul, number 40 of the kicking team. 15 yards, first down.
Meridian High School, Meridian, Mississippi.
And that was against Trey Farrell, a personal foul penalty. And they're going to walk off 15, so good field position for the Hornets of Alabama State as they'll start at their 34-yard line.
Unfortunate, because it was great kickoff coverage, but they had the personal foul, negates the coverage, and now, as you mentioned, Alabama State, good starting field position.
Quinteris Toppings is going to be your starting quarterback today. This decision made just before the game, and Toppings gives it to their top rusher, Khalid Thomas, who tries to bring it to the near side. He picks up 2 before he's brought down on the play.
You know, something that Brian Jenkins, coach squads are known for, competition every week, every position. So if you're the starter one week, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to start the next week. Last week, Jawan Young Battle started for Alabama State. Played pretty well, I thought, but obviously didn't have a good practice week. Now they're going with Quinteris Toppings behind center.
And Toppings, the throw. Now he'll keep it, go up the middle, and dives across the 40 to the 41. He'll be a couple of yards short of a first down as he picked up 4 on that quarterback draw.
Now calling his own number, going back to Toppings starting. He had the experience. Last year he was a quarterback, started a couple games for the Hornets. Jawan Young Battle, junior college transfer, came in and won the ball, won the starting job during camp. Not able to hold off, and now Toppings is starting.
3rd down and 4. And this is Khalid Thomas. Thomas met and still spins and battles his way up close to first down yardage. I think he's going to be about a yard short, though. Good effort as he twisted up into the hole before he was brought down by Darian Anderson.
Seems like they're thinking about going for it. I don't think you do that. You have to punt the ball here. Obviously, you want to rush for the yard and pick up the first down, but when you're on the road and it's a conference game, in this type of environment, I think the right move is to go ahead and punt the football away.
And Coach Jenkins makes that decision to go for the punt here. Fourth down in the rugby-style punt from Trevor Vincent, and it is going to roll. A great roll for him. It touched out of bounds, however, at the 14-yard line, where Alcorn will take over 1st and 10 if they're on 14. A 43-yard punt on that one. So stopped him just short. You say it's a good decision not to go for it like that early.
Yeah, scoreless ball game. You want to win the battle of field position. If the other team's going to score, make them score driving the field on your defense. Don't allow them just to take advantage of your offense not picking up the first down. So I think that was the right decision, although emotionally you want to go for it. But I think Coach Jenkins did the right thing deciding not to.
Alcorn State takes over on offense, and they're led by Lenoris Footman, the junior quarterback. Footman only 43% completion percentage last season. He started 6 contests for them, but they say they've been working with him a lot on footwork and minor mechanics. We'll see how it translates. And on the sweep near side, trying to get to the corner, and that is their star, Marquise Warford. And Warford didn't get much. Well, he got more than maybe it looked like. He got 5 on the play, actually, before Karan Ramsey forced him out of bounds.
I think that's how we're going to see Warford carry the football. I don't know if we're going to see him running the ball in between the tackles so much. Stretch the defense, make him defend the whole field.
And remember, Footman, the quarterback, ran for over 1,000 yards last year as well, so he is a weapon there. And this is Warford going far side. Penalty flag is down in the area where somebody usually spots holding. We'll see how they sort it out. He lost 2 yards on that play. Trayon Garnett was the one to bring him down on the tackle, but we do have a flag. It's going to be a holding as the Braves are walking back toward their own goal line. So not good news if you're on their side of the field.
Holding. Number 86, offense. That penalty is declined. 3rd down.
All right, so they decline that penalty.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Rather than giving them 2nd and probably 16 yards again, they elect to give them 3rd and 7.
They take the loss to make it 3rd and 7. Michael Ajimobi, a redshirt freshman out of Dallas, the tight end who committed the holding on that previous running play. So 3rd down and 7 now for Alcorn State. Now Footman changing the call at the line of scrimmage. And Footman throws near side, has a man, but it'll be short of the 1st down. And Colin Moore was the one who made the catch on the play. And it's going to be short of a 1st down, so Alcorn will have to turn it over on downs as well and at least get into punt formation and punt the football away. Both teams go 3 and out on their first possessions. Hayden McCraney is going to kick this one away. And back deep to receive Khalid Thomas, standing at his 35. He'll take it up about the 41 and trying to get to the far side. He gets it up to about midfield, so Alabama State will have great field position. 36-yard punt, 8 on the return. We're back with the continuation of the first quarter in just a moment.
ESPNU College Football is presented by McDonald's. I'm loving it. And in part by Dr. Pepper. It's a college football tradition.
We're back here on the beautiful campus of Alcorn State University here in Lorman, Mississippi. Look at the Alabama State side of the field as we are scoreless here in the first quarter. 10:53 to go. Eric Clemens and Jay Walker, glad to be here in Lorman. Already had some great food, and I think we're going to see some great football before we're all said and done in this one. Preseason, both these teams picked to be 1 and 2. Of course, the defending, 2-time defending Say that before we start getting tweets and stuff. Two-time defending back-to-back SWAC champs, Alcorn State. And Quinteris Toppings is going to be the quarterback once again for the Hornets. And Brian Jenkins, as he comes out for his second series to start the game. Toppings was 2 of 5 for 40 yards and a touchdown in that opening loss, University of Texas San Antonio. And Toppings this time around the far corner and leaping over a would-be tackler is Khalid Thomas, but I believe we have a flag down on the play right at about the 46-yard line of Alabama State, rather, or I'm sorry, of Alcorn State.
I think we're going to kind of get used to that. Both these teams play very aggressive in nature. Two of the most penalized teams in the SWAC.
Preliminary signal is blocking below the waist.
Illegal block below the waist. Defense, number 32. 15 yards, first down.
Different. They'll call on Stacy Gardner. Something normally you hear called on the offense. But they're going to call this on Stacy Gardner. Didn't see it there.
Really tough to see on that one.
Gardner plays defensive end, and they're normally on the other end of a legal block below the waist. But stranger things have happened. First down, Alabama State.
First one we've seen of the game. Toppings going to keep it. He's got a lot of room. Toppings inside the 10 and finally brought down at the 6-yard line. Nifty moves there from the quarterback with Terrace Toppings. He picks up 19 yards on the quarterback keeper.
And great decision. This was not a design quarterback run. Watch his head. You're going to see him take a look hard left here, and then he's going to decide, uh-oh, don't like what I see. Take off to the right. I've got blockers downfield. Quick reaction time. Good job by QT, Terrace Toppings.
Now first down and goal to go for Alabama State. Ball on the 6-yard line, and here's another quarterback keeper. That is a design play, and Toppings picks up 2 and gets down just inside the 5-yard line. So it'll be second and goal.
Those people in the SWAC conference, they're still getting used to Brian Jenkins. When he was at Bethune-Cookman and won all those championships and national championships, they ran the football. They're ball hogs. They like to keep the ball on the ground and beat you up in between the tackles. I'm starting to see that now at Alabama State. Offensive line controls the line of scrimmage, good running back, and a good running quarterback.
He says he's got a very versatile and experienced offensive line, and this time it's Khalid Thomas. Thomas off the right side only got 1, got down to about the 4, so it'll be third and goal from the 4 for Alabama State.
This is where you want to learn your ball squad here. You want to know, what do you have? He wants to be able to run the ball in for the touchdown. I would watch Toppings with some type of run-pass option in the backfield, the ability to use his legs and get involved in the play down here in the goal line.
The Hornets have rushed the ball for 40 yards already in the game. 9:08 mark here the first quarter, and we got a timeout on the field. And we'll keep it right here. So what are they talking about here on this play? If you're in what they call the green zone, some teams call it the red zone. If you're on Brian Jenkins, what are you saying to your squad?
I think they're saying that, look, they got a foreign look there. So what Alcorn came out and did was play straight man-to-man, and although Alabama State went with 5 wide receivers, they didn't bring a guy out to cover. So they played straight man-to-man and kept that box tight, taking away the run. So they clearly were going to call some type of run play. They did not like the look they got. So when you get to this huddle, you kind of say, okay, well, if we get man-to-man, who's going to be our hot guy? Who are we going to put in there? Their offensive coordinators, Mark Orlando. Many people in the conference are familiar with Coach Orlando. Very dynamic, very versatile in his play selection. Had a good knack for really taking advantage of his quarterback skill set. And I still think it's Terrace Toppings moving the pocket a little bit, running, because it's here that Alcorn was going to bring pressure and try and get to the quarterback.
It was actually Alcorn that took the timeout. I guess they wanted to see what kind of look they'd get. So now here we go. Third and goal from the 4. And Toppings keeping it. Almost goes down, buying some more time, and now he's finally swarmed under. He'll lose a couple back out to the 6-yard line. He'll lose 2 on the quarterback sack. And Eric Foster, the guy who moves everywhere on defense, came down and cleaned up and got the sack on that play.
Good job. Pressure behind the line of scrimmage. And Foster's really, really good player, probably their best defensive player for Alcorn. Great size.
Oh. Wow. I apologize. I did not notice the flag there in the middle of the pile, and we get a face mask call on the defense at the end of the play.
Got him down. He's going nowhere, and then unnecessary grab the face mask by Kenyon Brantley, number 90. Oh, that's a tough break there.
And that'll give Alabama State a first down and goal to go.
I mentioned earlier that these are two of the most penalized teams in the conference.
They'll spot the ball at about the 3. Still sorting things out down there on the field and trying to figure everything out before they blow the whistle and get us going once again. And now the officials are going to talk about it.
Look at that. Brian Jenkins. Take a look at where Brian Jenkins is. You see him there? That's Coach up there. Coach Jenkins is there at the top. He wants to know what's going on.
Coach, please get back in the coaching box.
And I've seen him enough. When he's smiling, that's not a good thing.
Okay.
He doesn't like to smile. He smiles when he's upset about something.
So now Alabama State trying to take full advantage of this break. And we get a bad snap over the head, and it is recovered by Alcorn. DeAndre Smith or Eric Foster was the one who got the fumble recovery. We have another flag now at about the 24-25 yard line. So bad snap, turnover, blows a golden opportunity perhaps for Alabama State.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 25, offense. That is his first unsportsmanlike conduct. First down.
So Eric Foster with a little unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, but a big break for Alcorn State. The Braves will take over in pretty decent field position when we come back. One NFL Sunday with us on ESPN at 10 a.m. Eastern, NFL Insider Sunday edition with all the injury news, fantasy updates, and early breaking stories. Then at 11, the new Sunday NFL Countdown crew of Chris Berman, Trent Dilfer, Charles Woodson, Matt Hasselbeck, and Randy Moss take you right up to kickoff. As always, both shows are also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN.
What do you think about that cast of the new NFL Countdown?
Well, the guys are opinionated. They know a lot. I'll always miss the legendary Tom Jackson. He was such a wonderful guy.
I don't know if you can have 2 quarterbacks on one set.
I don't know.
We kind of like to have our own domain. Right. Every team has one quarterback on the field at once for a reason.
It'll be interesting.
Trent does a good job there. He and Hasselbeck. It'll be good. Forward to see their chemistry.
So it would have been pretty good field position for Alcorn, but the unsportsmanlike penalty on Eric Foster after the fumble recovery. And this is Warford off the far side. Warford, pretty decent yardage out across the 15 to the 16 yard line. He picked up 3 on that one.
Once again, we gotta count the contact. I mean, he's a tough guy. He doesn't go down. He doesn't believe in quitting. He's 5'10", 185, 190 pounds. That's why receiver type frame. He's not afraid of contact. I just think Alabama State, the opposing teams, are going to try and put as many hits on it as possible.
And trying to reverse his field that time is Warford. And Warford lost a yard that time. He was brought down by Dominique Jackson. He was 4th on the team in total tackles with 61 of them last season, 2015, for Brian Jenkins' squad. So that'll set up a 3rd down and long, 3rd and 8 for the Braves of Alcorn State. And it's Jabori and McKenzie in the backfield alongside Lenoris Footman. Along with Warford. Footman all day to throw. Now he has a man wide open on the near side, and he has Charles Hughes. Hughes out across Smith's midfield, and he gets down to the 45 yard line. 40 yards on that catch and run. Set up nicely. Jerron Ramsey finally pushed him out of bounds, being have saved the touchdown.
It really started with protection up front, allowing Hughes the ability to come all the way across the formation here, finding a soft spot in the defense. Because of the protection, a nice solid pocket, he had to have time. Nice execution by the Braves offense.
After that 40-yard catch, now Footman kind of skipped that one as he was looking out for Warford in the flat. And that one is will go as incomplete. Could have been a lateral. I always question those quick passes out in the flat, and that one looked like it might have had a chance to be behind the quarterback when he let it go.
What they do schematically, they tell the quarterback, make sure that your receiver's in front of you. So if he does throw a lateral, they blame it on the receiver, not the quarterback, because how can it be a lateral if you're in front of the quarterback? So it becomes a wide receiver's job to make sure he's not deeper than the quarterback.
And this is Warford off the far side. Warford trying to get the corner and gets out to about the 41-yard line. Picked up maybe 5 on the play, and will set up 3rd and 5. Trayon Garnett brought him down.
This is such a different Alcorn offensive squad from a season ago. Last year, their offensive line was a strength. They ran at people. They wore them down. Aaron Baker, Darren Ragsdale. They would pound the football. Now, a lot of horizontal rushing, something we haven't seen here in a while.
Of course, they lost 4 offensive line starters from last season. There's another swing pass, and it goes out to DeLance Turner, and Turner gets out close to first down yardage. I think they're going to give it to him. He's marked down, and they're moving the sticks, first down yardage. So DeLance Turner catches the swing out of the backfield, and he's the change of pace from Warford back there.
More of your traditional running back, bigger frame, 6'1", 215 pounds, but you see the athleticism, able to pick up the first down after he caught that ball, probably 5 or 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
So the march continues for Alcorn State. Footman this time on the play fake will keep it and trying to get around the corner on the near side, but he did pick up 2, maybe 2 and some change before he was driven out of bounds. Garnett once again on the tackle. And we have an injured player down on the field for Alcorn. It looks like Brandon Campbell, one of their tight ends, a junior tight end, 6'4", 253 out of Pompano Beach, Florida, who's been banged up. He was banged up a little bit and didn't see much action last week. They said he's still banged up, but looked a little better this week, and looks like he's in some degree of pain down there on the field as he's being attended to by trainers.
Doesn't it? They're starting to cut equipment. When they start cutting your uniform, cutting equipment, that's tough, and you can tell that he's in some pain there. Been a tough camp for him. He's an all-conference selection.
Right.
He's a tight end for the all-SWAT offense, and they don't have his services on a limited basis. Not a good sign.
He caught 3 passes last year. 2 of them were for touchdowns. 55 yards. Another look at it.
He's coming in to make the block. He's engaged, and something just gave that knee. That's not a good sign. He wasn't hit on the knee. And you feel for the junior from Florida.
We'll be back here in Norman, Mississippi in a moment. Mississippi. At Spinks Kasem Stadium, Brandon Campbell, starting tight end, a preseason all-conference selection, is the man down. Looks to have a left leg or knee area injury. Tough to tell from way up here, and they're trying to get a cart or the ambulance or something to come down on the field to help remove him. And really puts a damper on what up to this point has been an impressive drive for Alcorn. Of course, you've got to attend to injured players, but it really slows down momentum. Several teammates have come over and patted Campbell on the head. We see again he was banged up last week, didn't see much action. Now there's a cart down there to help transport him off the field. It's not really a flatbed on the back of that, so I don't know if that's going to do the trick. I don't know how they're going to set it. Okay, she's going to open the back of it to be a flatbed type deal.
Go back and take a look at the injuries that happened. You see Campbell right on the 30-yard line. He's engaged, and the leg just gives. Not a good sign.
And they're bringing the stretcher out from the ambulance over here, and Brandon Campbell will be carried off the field. Now, he'd been banged up, so they were going to rely a lot on some very young players. Redshirt freshman Michael Ajimobi is going to play some tight end, as well as sophomore Jaquavion Bowles, who will have to step it up, according to his coaches, to fill in for the injured and fallen player.
So you wonder, injuries are part of football.
Yes.
Everybody knows that, but when you get a guy like Campbell, who's one of your leaders because of his performance on the field, you wonder how it affects the rest of your teammates.
Right.
So emotionally is the tough part, which you have to overcome that. And so it's only human nature to sit there and feel bad. Then you start to second guess, man, that could have been me. And you know how hard a guy worked during the offseason to get to this position. And when you do that, so that's why you wonder about your mental psyche of the guys on the sideline. So as a senior leader, what do? That's when you go up to the young freshman and you start to distract them. You talk about other things.
Right.
See, this look right here, the concerned look over there, that's tough. And that's tough to overcome emotionally. And everybody starts talking. So that's when you try and get your mind off of it a little bit. And, you want to see a good sign, but particularly early during the season. Injuries occur all throughout the year, but when you see a guy, their first game for all intents and purposes, and you've been lifting weights with him, you've been running with him, and it looks like his season could possibly come to an end this quick, that's the emotional part that wears on you a little bit. And I think Coach McNair's got to do a good job of keeping his team focused right now.
And again, such an impressive drive, especially for Lenore's Footman, their quarterback on the drive, 3 out of 4, 53 yards, including 2 for 2 on third downs. And that's all come to a grinding halt with the injury to Brandon Campbell. And they're still now finally taken off the field, and with the air cast, or the cast, temporary cast on the left leg, possibly the knee area. It looked like the knee buckled on that blocking effort that he made. But again, tough to call that from way up here. So Alcorn State, a little bit about them. I'm here in Lorman, Mississippi. I'm Eric Clemens along with Jay Walker, and we are about 5 minutes, 47 seconds to go in the first quarter of a scoreless game. Both teams have had opportunities. Both teams have had some miscues to keep them off the scoreboard, and now we'll finally get back to play as we'll pick it up. 2nd down and 8 yards to go with the ball on the 31-yard line. 3 receivers will go out top of your screen, wide left for quarterback Lenore's Footman. And this is Marquise Warford. Warford spins off some tackles and then finally bottled up, as he doesn't get much at all. He ran about 14 yards that play to get 1.
Because he's not going to quit. But you see, once again, they're going to the sideline running attack. Not really going vertically and challenging them, not pushing people off the ball. You're going to see a sideline warning issued to Alabama State. But after Warford made the first guy miss, how many more guys hit him? They're going to try and close the space and wear him out. It's going to be an interesting season, let alone football game tonight.
Coach Jenkins said they have to swarm tackle a guy like that. He compared him to Reggie Bush with the skill level, and they certainly did it on that play. 3rd down and 7 now. Footman comes near side and skipped that one a little bit short of his intended target.
And that's the footwork we talk about. What did you say about Footman earlier? What was his completion percentage last year?
43%.
That's a 43% passer right there. You've got the open route. You have to hit this ball. So let's take a look at his footwork. You know where you're going with the football. Settle. Good rhythm, good mechanics, just misfire. But that comes from practice, repetition. That's muscle memory. You have to be able to complete that throw 9 out of 10 times. Open receiver, out route. That's what the summer workouts are for. But for some reason, they got a little elongated on the throw. And when you overstride as a quarterback, the balls tend to go low.
This is a 47-yard field goal attempt by Corey McCullough. This is on the edge of his range. They'll direct snap it to him in a fake, and he has the completion over on the near side to number 37, Whittington, a backup linebacker, and that is first down yardage. What a call there on the fake.
Great job, because you can tell that Alabama State was set for a return because they had their running back in the back of the end zone, Khalid Thomas, They were setting up some type of return. Courtney Berry able to get there, but not before the pass was completed for the first down.
They pick up 10 yards on 4th and 7 on that play, and a gutsy call and a nice catch for the backup defensive end, Terry Whittington, a 6'5", 234 sophomore out of Cooper City, Florida. And now on first down, nice hole off the near side for Warford.
That right there is the Fred McNair era. Going for the fake field goal. Coach Hobson, defensive-minded coach. Most defensive head coaches keep things close to the vest. He elects to go for it and allow his offense to keep the drive alive.
And Warford on a little messed up exchange there with his quarterback, Norris Footman, but he still dives forward for a yard or so on the play, maybe 2. And that'll set up a 3rd down and call it close to 4.
Take a look at number 94 in white, Roderick Henderson, the big nose tackle. See him right here in the middle. That's a big man, everybody. 352 pounds, having a fantastic start to the season. You need him to make plays in these situations.
13th play of the drive. Warford around the far side, gets the corner, gets the end zone, touchdown.
That's what you don't like to see if you're Alabama State. Crowd gets into it, they start doing the chop. The reservation is jumping. Marquise Warford, we talked about them going sideline to sideline with their rushing attack. Gets one block on the outside, then the rest is all Warford all the time. I like what they said. There's nobody like him in this conference, and Marquise Warford gives the Braves the lead.
And Corey McCullough going to line up for the extra point. I'm going to assume he'll try to kick this one, but who knows? He got the direct snap to keep this drive alive and threw a nice pass to Whittington to keep the drive alive. And Alcorn State completes a nice march, 13-play drive. They get it in the end zone with Marquise Warford. The fake field goal starts it all off. McCullough with the pass to Whittington. They pick up 10 yards. And then the touchdown play.
And 2 Hornet defenders allow Warford to get the edge. You cannot do that. That's a mental error. Missed assignment. Long tradition here they've done. Every time they score, the ROTC comes out and does push-ups now. This is an offense that averaged almost 40 points a game last year. That's going to be a yoke squad.
That's a lot of push-ups. And there's Warford. 9 carries for 34 yards, including the touchdown. And 3 third down conversions and a 4th down conversion on that 13-play drive. 13 plays, 87 yards, 531.
And you see the numbers. These aren't conference numbers. They were 6th in the country in points scored at almost 40 points a game. Almost 456 yards, and most of those were rushing yards. Almost 300 yards per game on the ground. That's why the offensive line was their strength last year. Now they're question marks. Good adjustment by offensive coordinator Fred Keiss, realizing they may not be able to blow teams off the ball. So they're going to make him chase his best football player, and that's Marquise Warford.
And the kick comes down, and Beckwith lets it bounce. And it goes into the end zone. It'll be a touchback. So Alabama State will take over. Trailing it 7-0 with 3:06 to go here in the first quarter.
And now you find yourself in a jam. Remember, Alabama State was driving, and they could not capitalize and put points on the board. Then the other team, the home team, comes, gets the ball, drive length of the field. And when we were driving in here, remember what I told you? This is probably one of the hardest road trips in all of black college football. You see why now?
The crowd gets going, they get chopping, and
they start chopping. The defense gets it, and they got exciting players. And all of a sudden now, Alabama State, early in this contest, has to come up with a score.
And this is Quinteris Toppings looking deep down the field, and it is knocked away. Coming over the top on a nice defensive play that time was Eric Foster once again, and he is everywhere. He comes down in the box and can defend as well.
And that's what makes him special. His size, 6'3", 200 pounds with 4.4 speed. He's beat on this play. You have to put the ball out there, but he's able to get back in the play, make a break on the football to stop the big gain. Eric Foster, he's a good one, NFL prospect for sure.
Toppings was looking for Willis White on that deep pass. Here he is again. Now with the delay play. Draw, and he hands it off. on the draw play to Alex Anderson, who's another change of pace runner, a guy who goes up inside a lot as he fills in for Khalid Thomas, and Marquell Beckwith will also see a lot of action in the backfield. Picked up 1 on that play, so it'll be 3rd and long.
You need to dial up your best offensive play right now. They need this first down, because if they punt the ball back to the Braves, the way they've got momentum in this game, things could get ugly pretty quick here.
Toppings. Protection good so far. Now he'll try to buy some time, and he does. Has one down deep downfield, and he has his man on the near side. He found Willis White on a nice leaping catch, and that extends the drive. A clutch catch there on 3rd down.
And great quarterback play by Quintarius Toppings, extending the play. Wasn't there early, wanted to go right. They gave up outside contain, allowed him to get an extra second to get the ball to White down the field. Throws a rope, but great concentration by Willis White. Watch him make the catch, secure the football. Ball didn't move, that's a catch. First down, Hornets.
21 yards on that reception on 3rd and 9. So now 1st down with Willis White in motion. Inside handoff and some nice room that time. Running up off of left tackle for 5 yards. And that is Darrell King.
They're doing a little bit of running back by committee. We've seen Khalid Thomas. Now we see Darrell King. Seen Alex Anderson. They're changing the running backs, but they're sticking with Toppings at the quarterback. He was rewarded that last possession with a nice conversion on 3rd down.
Nice gain on 1st down that time on the run play, and they run the same play up inside, and they get it inside the 45 to about the 44-yard line, and that was Alex Anderson on the carry that time, so it'll be 3rd and short. 3rd and 1.
And slowly but surely starting to see Alabama State control the line of scrimmage a little bit, able to put themselves in a position where they can run for the 1st down or pass for it.
Approaching the 30-second mark here in the opening quarter, with Alcorn State leading at 7-0. 3rd and short. And this is Khalid Thomas, 1st down and then some, as he gets it down close to the 40-yard line for a pickup of 3+.
Now we're starting to see the type of football game I thought. I thought these two teams, they both want to bully each other. Alcorn would bully teams for the past 2 years. I think Brian Jenkins is going to bring that bully mentality to Alabama State. We're starting to see it. Wear you down on the offensive line and hit you with explosive plays over the top once you make a mistake trying to stop the running game.
And hit the corner, and he does on the near side, and that was Khalid Thomas. And Thomas did get the corner for 3 as he's knocked out of bounds by Darian Anderson, the starting inside linebacker. And that'll do it for the 1st quarter play here. We've ended 1 here in Lorman, Mississippi. Alcorn State finally takes advantage and gets a touchdown on its last drive. Alabama State is driving as we get ready to start the 2nd quarter. There he is, one of Evers, statue of the great civil rights leader, on campus here in Lorman at Alcorn State University, where we are just about to start the 2nd quarter. Leading 7-0 is Alcorn State over Alabama State, but the Hornets are putting together a nice march. 2nd down as they have crossed the 40-yard line in Alcorn territory. And here's the reverse.
Room to run.
And a lot of room to run. Not Willis White, but Josh Davis, the speedster. And Davis picked up great yardage before he was knocked out of bounds by DeAndre Smith. 28 yards on the reverse, and he looked like he took that one nice and easy, and he was flying.
Yeah, slow developing there. You focus on Khalid Thomas, and what do? They give the ball on a pitch to Josh Davis, who was the fastest man in the SWAC. 60-meter SWAC champion indoor track, showing you the Jets there, making that look easy.
So Alabama State down deep into the red zone once again, and there's an inside handoff, and it gets down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. That was Khalid Thomas on that carry. And Davis, some numbers from last year, averaging over 20 yards a carry, so he can blow the top off of it.
Yeah, they're going to get him involved. Last week versus Texas San Antonio, he got by his man several times. They just weren't able to connect on the long ball, but they realize how fast he is with that speed. 6.8 in the 60. He can use it on the football field. Look for him to have a breakout year in his junior season campaign.
10th play of this impressive march for the Hornets of Alabama State. 2nd and goal. Toppings going end zone. And they fought for it a little bit on the far side, but it is incomplete as he was looking for Chet LeVay, and that one was defended by LaShawn Ely and broken up.
This is late. He's open right away. You see him there. Right away you can tell that he's open. Late quarterback. And get rid of the ball now. They waited for him to come out the break that long, allowed the defensive back an opportunity to come back into play. He was throwing. As a passer, you make that pass early. When you're just throwing, he has to break open. And that cost him a touchdown.
See if they can recover as the play clock winding down inside 5 seconds. They better hurry, and they're going to have to burn a timeout on this one as they didn't get it set quite quickly enough. So right now, can the Hornets of Alabama State keep things going and get on the board? We'll find out in the second quarter. I'm here in Lorman, Mississippi. 3rd down, goal to go for Alabama State. Goal to go. 2 receivers split to either side. And Toppings looking end zone wide open out of the backfield is one of their favorite receivers and runners, Khalid Thomas, for the touchdown.
Great play selection. Cover 2 defense. The weakness is in the middle. Thomas coming out of the backfield. Nobody accounts for him. Trying to drop a defensive lineman there. Great recognition by Toppings. Doesn't get any easier than that.
Darian Anderson almost got a big call on it, but a little bit too high for him. The extra point is good. So we are tied up after the impressive march by Alabama State. They come right back and answer with a touchdown of their own against Alcorn.
Now, let me give you a little football one-on-one, Mr. Clemens. Cover 2 defense. The weakness of a cover 2 is the middle of the field. Why is it called cover 2? 2 safeties deep. Where's the weakness? Middle of the field. So the key is, how do you get somebody there? Watch him sneak him out. Come here a little under route. Football 101. Somebody's going to get to the middle of the field. That's what you do. That's how you attack defenses. They can only cover so much versus the cover 2 look. Get somebody down the middle of the field.
All right, Coach, and we look forward to continuing that throughout the season. Monday Night Football is back, folks, September 12th with the annual doubleheader to cap off Week 1 at 6:55 Eastern. Big Ben, Antonio Brown, and the Steelers take on Josh Norman and the Redskins. Then at 10:15, it's our West Coast matchup. The 49ers host Todd Gurley and the LA Rams. Our coverage begins with Monday Night Countdown at 5 Eastern on ESPN, also streaming live on Watch ESPN. And how about Antonio Brown? Many of the people's top picks in your fantasy drafts this year, a wide receiver, but a wide receiver that catches 120, 130, 140 balls every year.
I wouldn't take him over Cam.
Well, I'm just saying.
Give me the guy that has the ball in his hands all the time that can run it and throw it.
He's trending number 1. Back deep, Tavares Johnson. And Johnson going to the far side, got it across the 20 up to about the 23-yard line where he's knocked out of bounds. And Alcorn will take over 1st and 10.
Good job. We said that Alabama State had to answer. Remember, Alcorn picked up that momentum after the score, had them in a long situation. Great job responding by the visiting team, showing that type of fight. And now see if Alcorn can get back in the driver's seat and put some more pressure on Alabama State.
Remember that big third down completion where he bought some more time and completed a big pass down the sideline that kept the drive alive. So let's see if Alcorn can answer here with a drive of its own. Again, as we talked about, they've been running mostly to the edges with Warford. They didn't do that last week in the canceled game against Bethune-Cookman. He ran it up inside, not with much success. On the keeper, Footman has a lot of room on the far side, gets the corner, and boy, pushing him out of bounds to maybe save a touchdown that time. He was going to push for dear life, as Theron Presley might have saved a touchdown.
Yeah, but look at the pulling tight end, getting around the edge, which you want the freshman who's in there, Michael Ojemobley, able to get around and seal the edge, allowing Footman to pick up the first down.
13 yards on that carry, and now this is Warford, and Warford has some room off the right side, and he'll pick up 5 yards on that carry. So now it'll set up 2nd and 5 as Alcorn State with some impressive plays to begin their march here in the second quarter with the score tied at 7.
And that matchup between D'Antonio Dade and Roderick Henderson, right in the middle of the field. Big Roderick, 94, the best defensive lineman, taking on the best O-lineman from Alcorn.
And here's Footman on the keeper again. First down yardage and then some. Cross midfield, down to the 45-yard line before he's brought down. He picks up 12 more.
The offensive line just starting to make an impact in this game. With only one returning starter, Alcorn figured out a way to run the ball between the tackles.
It's still a tough position to defend against, too, when the quarterback can move around like that and take off running before you really realize he has it.
Because the moment you commit to having somebody spy the quarterback in the backfield, then they hit you over the top with a big play throwing the ball.
And Lenore's Footman passed and ran for over 1,000. Got away from the rush this time and hits his running back in the flat. That time he hit DeLance Turner, and Turner spun down inside the 35 to the 34-yard line, and he picked up 11 on that first down completion.
Great job by Footman of just getting rid of the football. Alabama State did not fall for the play fake, was able to pull up and make a catchable pass and pick up another first down.
Showed good athleticism getting away from the potential sack. And now Footman going to keep this one. Breaks into the secondary. Inside the 25 to the 23-yard line before he's forced out of bounds.
They got him. Alabama State getting upset with the success they're having running the ball. They dialed up a run blitz in which they had Courtney Berry and Dominique Jackson blitz the gap between the center and the guard. Not able to get to the quarterback. Big play for the Braves.
Another 11-yard gain that time for Lenore's Footman. As we said earlier, 1,000-yard passer and 1,000-yard rusher from the quarterback position last year. Is going to keep this one. Steps up into a hole inside the 20 down to the 17-yard line. Picked up 6 before Trayon Garnett brought him down. And he has been quite impressive with his feet on this particular drive.
A rush for 1,000 yards a season ago, so we know he has the capability of taking it to the house, and good job of ball skill management. 11
touchdowns through the air, 14 through the air rather, 11 on the ground, and that time he was under some heavy pressure as the linebacker Courtney Berry was blitzing and put him to the ground before he got that one away incomplete.
Well, you can tell the defensive coordinator Ted Dasher is a little frustrated right now dealing with this Alcorn offense, and so often when D coordinators get frustrated, what do? Go get them, boys. Bring the blitz. Hit them, and Courtney Berry forcing them to get rid of the ball early.
Footman with 43 yards on this drive alone. After that incompletion, that'll set up 3rd down and 4. And now we have a stoppage on the field, and we have a timeout for Alcorn. So 3rd and 4. Somebody's got to be watching the quarterback, you think. But again, a very difficult position to defend.
And it's not like he's just a quarterback. This is a mobile quarterback.
Right.
And now you see why so many defensive coordinators have nightmares about quarterbacks that can run on any level of football. You put your players in the right position, and yet he's still able to get away. I do think although they missed him on the blitz earlier when they tried the run blitz, I wouldn't be surprised if you see it again. I think what you have to do is you have to force the 43% passer to complete 50% of his passes to beat you. Pack the box, make him throw the football. You leave yourself vulnerable for a big play. but in situations like this, you want to just get the ball out of the opposing offense's hands. It's a good look right there. Antonio Dade, number 66, the center. Senior leadership, been a 4-year starter at Alcorn.
Moved over to center to anchor that offensive line. Footman going back the other way, has his man. This time it's Jaborian McKenzie, and McKenzie lost the football, and that's a fumble. It is recovered by Alabama State, and trying to find a convoy down the sideline. And finally down to outside the 30-yard line. We do have a flag down on the play, which is at about the 40. And picking up that fumble, Courtney Berry caused the fumble. And picking it up was Treyon Garnett, who flew down the sidelines for 49 yards on the return. We have a flag back at the 40. We have another flag down at about the 32. So they're going to sort this one out. Our referee is Scott Johnson, and he's talking about the flag way back upfield. So again, another impressive drive that might be wiped out because of that turnover.
Look at Brian Jenkins. Is he in the huddle? He's got on all black in the huddle. With great job of swarming to the football. Isn't that what Hornets are supposed to do? Swarm. They swarm to the football. Now let's sort it out and see who's going to maintain possession and where.
The result of the play is a fumble that is recovered by Alabama State. During the return of the fumble, we had a block in the back on the return team, number 94. Then we had a dead ball, personal foul, late hit, number 9 of the return team. Both fouls will be enforced. It'll be first down, Alabama State.
So after the recovery, Roderick Henderson, 94, with an illegal block. And Torrey Davis. Now, so there's McKenzie on the spin, and Courtney Berry and company causing the fumble.
Really good job. Bradley Street, number 6. Berry's making the tackle. You see number 6 reach in there and strip it out. He and Berry, ball comes out, clearly a fumble. And what could have been an opportunity for a huge play with the long return because of the penalties. Now they want to review the fumble, but I think that should stand. But you have to be a little frustrated if you're Brian Jenkins. I mean, your defense makes a stop, you get the play, and then you get 2 hits at the end. But here's a look here. I think number 6 makes him come out. He's going towards the ground. That's going to be easy one to go with
on
the
his
call
way
on the
down.
field.
Bradley Street punching that ball out of there and getting some help on the tackle from Courtney Berry, the All-America middle linebacker, or Mike linebacker, they like to call him in some of the terminology, in the 3-4.
And what you have to like is give credit to the SWAC and the MEAC. 2 FCS conferences, wherever they have a televised game, instant replay becomes part of the equation. So there's only maybe 2 or 3 conferences in all of FCS that utilize replay. The Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference and the SWAC do a good job, and I like that. Get it right.
Get it right.
Get it right. You work so hard to prepare for these games, and you'd hate to have human error put you on the short end of the stick.
From the angle we saw, it certainly looked like that ball came out before any part of his body was on the ground.
The ruling on the field is confirmed. First down, Alabama State.
Outside of them getting the first down, where are they going to get the ball? Where's the ball now?
It's spotted back at the 15 because of the illegal block when it was first recovered, I'm guessing.
And they ran it down to the 30. They could have had great field position on the 30-yard line. Instead, they get the ball on their own 15. Let's see. Play is over. And look at number 9. Come on. That's a cheap shot. He's lucky he's not ejected from the game. Standing around, the game is dangerous enough. It was high as well, knocked off the opponent's helmet for no reason. You hurt your team when you make selfish plays like that.
49 yards of lost field position because of those penalties. And here is Khalid Thomas, and there's another flag on the play. And Thomas gets around the corner, the near side to the right, And he is brought down by Terry Whittington on the tackle, and Khalid Thomas limping off the field, favoring the right leg a little bit.
Chop block, number 66 at 75. Half the distance to the goal, still first down.
Chop block called on Samuel Jenkins, and I believe he also identified Caleb Kinnikin, a couple of offensive linemen. Illegal block there, so back them up some more.
They're going to have to get this under control, and one of the big emphasis with the rules committee this year, chop blocks, protecting the legs. So you're almost better off not going for the leg of your opponent, because they have been cued to take a look at that.
So on 1st and 17, Quinteris Topping still your quarterback, and trying to find some room along the far side. We got another flag. That was Alex Anderson on the carry.
Offside. Defense, number 37, 5 yards, still first down.
All right, offside on the defense that time, so give him 5 back. It'll be a 1st and 12 now for Alabama State on their own 13-yard line. Five penalties for 51 yards against Alcorn State. Toppings threw that one just a little bit high as he was trying to set up a little screen over there to Josh Davis, and he threw that one high, and fortunate that some defender wasn't over there to get the deflection and take it back to the house, but we're incomplete, so it'll be 2nd and 12.
I like the idea of them trying to get Davis involved in the offense. He can be an explosive playmaker, and particularly when he gets that matchup. When you see number 1 versus number 1, this is under review. I'm trying to see if that was a lateral pass or.
All right, we're going to sort out what the officials are talking about on this one and bring you more of the second quarter.
Football. Brought to you by Dr. Pepper. It's a college football tradition.
Back here in Lorman, Mississippi, a hot and humid day, but skies pretty clear all day long, and a good night for football as we are tied at 7 here in the second quarter on 2nd and 12. Quinteris Toppings looks near side, and that one thrown a little bit behind his intended receiver and almost intercepted as he was looking for Nigel Lee. DeAndre Smith almost came up with the interception on that one.
And you know why it was lookout? Late outside. As a quarterback, you cannot throw the ball late. The receiver was out of the break, so was the defensive back. Very fortunate that ball wasn't intercepted for a pick 6. And the matchup you want, it's up top. This is the matchup I want. If I'm there, I want to go up top, number 1 on number 1. Josh Davis versus Diego Sama.
3rd and 12. And that one, a little screen he had set up on this side as he was looking for Marquell Beckwith. And they threw that one maybe a little bit too hard. It just got away from him, and he had some blockers in front.
And Toppings has won the battle quarterback job this week, but we've seen him make some errant throws, and he's made a good play, but he's also missed some of the easy ones that you have to make, and those numbers don't look too good as him as a passer right now.
Toppings 2 of 7 for 30 yards, 1 touchdown. He hit Khalid Thomas out of the backfield. Back deep to receive. This punt is Collins Moore. And Moore signals for a fair catch and makes it, and he's contacted. And there goes the flag. He did signal for a fair catch in plenty of time, and he was contacted by the Gunners down there on the kicking team right about the 45-yard line after he made the catch. So Alabama State's going to get great field position once again.
That would be another 15 yards. I call that a mental error. Guy calls fair catch. You can't touch him. You cannot touch him. Get away from him. Why grab him? I mean, you can't even high five a guy if he calls fair catch.
There's no foul for kick catch interference. First down.
Okay, so they pick up the flag and they say no fouls. All right, tonight, after Virginia and Oregon finish up at SportsCenter at night with Bucci and Anderson, they'll have all the highlights from the U.S. Open Women's Final, Major League Baseball, college football, third round of the BMW Championship at Crooked Stick, NFL news, UFC 203 updates, and everything else from the sports world. Is there anything else after all that? SportsCenter at night, tonight on ESPN, also streaming live on the ESPN app. And watch ESPN. I think we had everything covered there.
There is something after that. Virginia at Oregon. The game coming on after.
Footman making the run. We have a flag down in the backfield. Looks like Footman was hit low after he released the pass on the far side and found Warford that time out of the backfield.
Offense. 10 yards. Still first down.
Yeah, that's Timothy Gardner, the right tackle, the transfer from Indiana University, taking on Robert Brown, number 53. Brown able to get some good penetration and force Gardner to hold him. Gardner's one of those guys that need to step up. Transferred into the program, 6'6", 300 pounds at right tackle. He can play well. They can continue to run the ball with success like they did a season ago.
Almost 100 yards in penalties between the teams, and here's Footman looking deep downfield, has a man open and just overshot him by just a slight amount. Jalen Walker was running free behind the defense down there, and it just went off his hand.
Got to make that catch. I mean, Footman did a good job. The pocket was collapsed, and he held on to the ball to the very last second. And kind of what Ray Perkins, our old offensive coordinator of the New England Patriots, used to say, the ball touches your gloves, you should come down with the catch. Seemed like he had two hands on that ball. It's not an easy catch, but on this level of college football, you need your receivers to make that catch.
Jalen, the 6'1", 200-pound junior out of Sacramento, California, had one catch last season for 18 yards. And now we have another stoppage on the field. And it looks like Coach McNair has signaled a timeout for Alcorn.
Timeout. Alcorn. Their final.
Coach McNair, well, you know, we talk about Steve McNair around these parts, but the first Air McNair, my good man, was a guy named Fred, who could throw it himself and proved it in the professional ranks.
That's what you always like to the quarterback. The question, did you play? Oh, yeah. Take a look at the videotape. See here, he set all the records here at Alcorn. So his little brother Steve came and snapped them all, but he's a record-setting quarterback in the Arena Football League, a champion there. And I like this highlight because I like what they do at the end. I like how they celebrate a little bit. The Arena Football League, look, number 99 carries a D lineman. Watch that. I'm hot. The ball's hot. The ball's hot. But good job to see McNair taking over this program here.
He had 8 touchdown passes in a game 4 times in his Arena League career. You can see it, 9 seasons, 16,591 passing yards, and a bunch of touchdowns, 291 to be exact.
What did you say? When you see him in uniform, built just like his brother Steve,
yeah.
No doubt they were brothers.
Here's Lenore's Footman stepping up and going deep. He's got a man open who has to wait for it, and he is contacted before the catch. So that'll be pass interference as he was looking deep. Theron Presley made the play on the interference, and he was looking deep for Colin Moore, who was at least 12 yards behind.
25, 15 yards.
And this is a great job by Presley. When the ball's in the air, you're in no man's land. Don't let him make the catch. Run him down. He's willing to take pass interference. Not even coming back for the ball. He thought he had safety help over the top. That's a blown coverage. And with a better throw, that's an easy touchdown, but I hate to keep harping on it. 43% passer. 43% passer gets the penalty. 60% passer gets the touchdown. And that was a touchdown. Wide open that they missed. And that's a good job by Presley. Although he was beat, blown coverage, he did a good job coming back and not allowing the receiver to make the catch.
Remember, in the college game, pass interference not at the spot of the foul, but 15 yards from the original line of scrimmage, and Footman keeping the ball, and he might have fumbled. Alabama State saying they have it, but the officials are ruling him down by contact before that ball squirted loose. So call it second down.
A little bit closer than I thought. I mean, he's clearly going down.
It was hard to tell when the ball actually came out as well. This is Warford trying to find some room off the right side. He gets it inside the 40 to about the 39. Not much. Give him one on the play that time.
This game here, which started to pick up some momentum, almost going to a crawl now. Crawl and pace, penalties and turnovers, unnecessary roughness. I mean, the teams are playing aggressive. But
I think Warford just went down in some pain right at the left hash mark on the 42-yard line, so they're going to attend to him. And he got banged up running it inside a lot last week, and they weren't successful until they started using it as a decoy in the second quarter.
Yeah, I mean, he's a tough kid, wants to finish off a run there, but you see him giving him some attention, obviously in some pain, that right shoulder, and then Phil Cookman said, we're going to put bodies on him. Just continue to hit him, drive him down into the ground, swarm tackle him. So that was just 1.25 quarters of play. And then here it is tonight. You see the same thing. You're in the trenches running the ball. 3 or 4 bodies around the ball, carry it once. They're going to wear him out. And this may be just a cramp. Let's hope this is something minor. But
nothing looked strange there. It didn't even look like any weight came down on the lower legs on the tackle, so maybe it was a cramp. It's hot and humid today.
Now you sound like such an announcer. You know why? Because it's a game of football, nothing's easy about 300-pound men laying on you.
No.
Even if you gain 1 yard, you still have a 300-pound person on you. It may not be a direct hit, but get those guys off on a regular basis. It takes its toll on you, but you're all right with me.
DeLance Turner replacing Warford in the game now, and that pass to the far sideline is way high and way off the mark there on 3rd down and 8. So it'll be 4th and 8. And will this be a situation where Coach McNair goes for it on 4th down, or will he punt and try to pin Alabama State deep into their own end? Let's see here. He looks like he's going to punt it as Hayden McCraney comes into the game to boot this one. He'll strike it from somewhere around midfield or just inside.
Alabama State not even bringing their punt return team on the field.
And now they have to take a timeout because nobody was back deep, and like you said, the punt team might not have even been on the field. I think maybe Alcorn caught them by surprise a little bit by going for the punt that time. And Coach Jenkins and company meeting with their squad, and there's Brian Jenkins, who has won everywhere he's been. He says, hey, I am me. I am an old school, disciplined football coach. I'm going to make boys out of young men. And you 4 MEAC titles in 5 years, 2 Black College National Championships. I mean, records speak for themselves.
You know why Brian Jenkins at Alabama State? You see all the stuff you've got here. That's all good stuff, right? But MEAC championships. That's why you're hiring Brian Jenkins. 4 MEAC titles in 5 years. And he really took that program to a new level. And they want the same thing as Alabama State.
And so now they shift back into a punt formation where Hayden McCraney is. And he gets a high one underway. That'll land inside the 10 and get into the end zone for a touchback. Alabama State will take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. We're tied at 7. Back with more in a moment. Stadium here in Lower Mississippi, the campus of Alcorn State. They are the sounds of dynamite, and they are getting ready to perform at halftime. Can't wait to see it. They are quite an impressive show. On 1st down, still fighting for yardage off the left side. Gaining 2 yards on that run was Marquell Beckwith. And still no sign of Khalid Thomas, who limped off the field in the last drive, favoring a right leg injury of some sort. And as soon as we get any information on that status, we'll pass it along to you. And plenty of room off the right side, and first down yardage and then some, getting all the way out to close to the 40-yard line. The ball came loose out there. Marquell Beckwith picks up 15.
Good job. They really like that. The transfer grad student from Troy, from Montgomery, getting to play at home. And look at all the daylight he had there. Huge hole. Way to take advantage of it with Beckwith. Have to hold on to the ball at the end of the run, young man. You're a graduate student. You know better.
Certainly down by contact that time. And here's Topping. Looking deep. Has a man, and it went through his hands and incomplete. Boy, he was looking that time for Josh Davis, the speedster, on the fly route. And it looked to me like it went right through his hands. I could be wrong, though.
Well, they were taking a chance, picking on number 1 versus number 1, the speed. If you lead him a little bit more, that's a touchdown. But one thing Josh Davis has to do is come back and get the ball at its highest point. It wasn't a perfect pass, but it was thrown out there far enough where you like to see him come down and make that catch.
Wonder if Sama got a little piece of it. It seemed to go right through his arms. It wasn't near the hands, right through the opening in the arms as he reached up to try to make the grab. 2nd and 10 now. And this is Beckwith once again, and Beckwith gets it out just about to the 40-yard line, picked up 3.
I go back to that matchup. I mean, Sama, the cornerback for Alcorn, number 1. In high school, he played defensive back. Then he became a wide receiver. Looks like we're dealing with another cramp issue there. And this is that time you see a lot of cramps. But Diego Sama, going back to him, number 1 for Alcorn, the cornerback. High school defensive back. Then came to Alcorn to play wide receiver all last season. This year they moved him back to defensive back. So this time is his first time playing defensive back in college. He got burned last week in that game versus Bethune-Cookman. Probably pick on him again with some more speed, see if he can get the youngster to bite on a double move like he did last week.
Darrell King is in the backfield now, alongside of Quinteris Toppings, 3 receivers. Split to the bottom of your screen right. Toppings under some pressure, steps up in the pocket, and now, wow, he still stays on his feet. I thought he was going to be down about the 41 or 42-yard line, but he squirted his way through there and picked up about 6 yards. So it'll be 4th down and short.
And he may be close enough where you may go for it. You know, most of the time you say if you're in midfield, you'll go for it. Defense playing well. Well, they're going to get a measurement, but I think if he's anything less than half of a yard, I think would not be surprised. See Brian Jenkins try and jumpstart this football club by going for it.
Moving everybody away, and I tell you what, he really had a nice second effort on the squirt as he was perpendicular to the ground and got a lot closer to the sticks than I thought he was. So he's maybe a half a football short. I got in trouble guessing this last game, so I'm just going to let the pictures show the words for you.
They're wrong again because he got it.
He's a quarter of a foot. Well, I'm below the Mendoza line in terms of batting average and guessing how short or long somebody is, but he got that one by just the nose of the football. So continue to move the sticks. 1st and 10 for Alabama State. Ball at the 47-yard line. Quinteris Toppings, your quarterback in shotgun formation, which both teams play almost 100% of the time. There's going to the far side is Beckwith again, or no, I'm sorry, that was Darrell King who came in to replace Beckwith, who left with injury. Michael Hearns on the tackle there. He picked up 2.
I see something for Alabama State. You give them a spread formation like this, Alcorn goes to cover 2 automatically. Cover 2, that's when the middle of the field's wide open. Take a look now. Look at the middle. The 2 hashes, it's wide open there. They're going to sneak somebody down the middle of the field and try and take a deep shot.
A little reverse action type play, and That one this time picks up 2 more yards as it went to Willis White. And Coach Jenkins is really high on this guy. Says he expects him to have a big monster year for them in the passing game this year. He's got that 4.5 speed, and he can do multiple things like run the football, which you saw that time.
Into the field, open again. That's the money zone.
2nd and 6. We had a jumper at the top of the screen, and this one intentionally thrown out of bounds, but that will go against Alcorn State. It might have been Eric Foster who jumped that time into the neutral zone, so to speak.
Offside. Defense, number 25. Still 3rd down.
You said it, Eric Foster coming from that slot position. They're going to bring a blitz. Got there a little bit too early in the neutral zone.
So it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. Ball just outside of the 44-yard line of Alcorn. And the handoff off the near side, and that is once again Darrell King on the carry.
And that's a little bit of difference in running backs. Great running back sees that tackler coming, can make him miss with that much space, becomes a bigger game. You go down to your 3rd, 4th screen running back, and Darrell King, he's a bigger guy, 230 pounds. Had he just had one move in space, that could have been a huge play.
Darrell King moves the change, though, picks up 1st down yardage. Two receivers split to either side of the formation as Quinteris Toppings gives it once again to King, and King off the right side picks up fairly good yardage, gets down to about the 36-yard line, call it a gain of 4.
With King in the game, he's the largest running back on this football team at 235 pounds, 230 pounds. They're not trying to run the ball off tackle. They're going to run the ball in between the tackles, and this is when you need your offensive line really extend those blocks and get a nice surge ahead.
10th play of the Hornet drive about to come up here on 2nd and 6. Toppings still has it. Toppings has 1st down yardage and then some. Spins inside the 30 all the way down to the 28-yard line. Call it a gain of 9 before Michael Brooks brought him down.
Now they're getting here crossing the 30-yard line. You got to be careful of the blitz coming from Alcorn State, taking them out of their comfort zone. This has been an impressive drive by Alabama State so far to try and close out this 1st half.
Approaching the 2-minute mark here in the 1st half of play. Tied at 7. King reverses his field a little bit, cuts it back, and picks up good yardage, 5 that time before Darian Anderson, middle linebacker, brought him down.
One thing I really like from Quinteris Toppings, he's got good ball handling skills in the backfield. He gives out the play action fake. That's something you see more quarterbacks work on now than before. Play action, faking the ball, riding the runner. It's really hard to locate the football.
King trying to fight for some yardage down. He's brought down just at about the 21-yard line. He picked up 2 before a host of purple shirts were there to meet him. So it'll be 3rd down and 3. That iffy distance to go. The defense doesn't quite know what you can do. You can run it here, you can throw it here. So it should have them a little bit off balance. Let's see what happens here on 3rd down. Alabama State 5 for 7 on 3rd downs in the contest so far.
So they've had success sending somebody in motion to freeze the linebackers. They didn't send the motion guy. Now they're taking some time. I don't know if they're going to be able to get this play off in time. They're not.
Signaling timeout. Play clock was running down. There was definitely some confusion down there. So it'll be a timeout.
Alabama State.
With 1:02 to go in the 1st half. Alabama State will try to continue the march. There, hoping his defense gets a stop here with just over a minute to go in the 2nd quarter. And Alabama State driving. Marquell Beckwith back in the contest now after leaving for what looked like a cramp. And there's on the keeper is Toppings, and Toppings gets down inside the 15 all the way down to the 12-yard line, picking up 8.
We talked about Toppings' ability with ball handling there and to fake it. They called a run blitz. The blitzing linebacker ran right past the quarterback in the backfield. They dialed up the right blitz, but he could not recognize the ball, and that enabled Toppings to pull it and pick up the first down.
Remember, neither team has a timeout. Wide open in the end zone, but Toppings overshot his man that time as he was looking for his receiver, Palmer Graham, number 13.
Graham's a small guy, only 5'9", but he has to slow down. He realizes he's so wide open, he just kind of keeps running. Gear down, square your shoulders up. Toppings, you got to have that ball, though. He's wide open in the end zone. We haven't seen a lot of great passing in this game.
There was nobody near him in the end zone. So call that a blown opportunity with 38 seconds to go. And 2nd and 10 with the ball on the 12. Remember, neither team has a timeout. Toppings near side. And that one deflected away. Good coverage, double coverage that time.
Versus the cover 2. Had a wide receiver open in the middle of the field for a touchdown. When you get that cover 2, you got to find that dangerous guy in the end zone. And Willis White was by himself. Toppings instead threw into double coverage. Fortunately, it wasn't intercepted.
He was looking for Palmer Graham once again.
When they give you this look with the 2 safeties high, you have to find somebody to come in the middle of the field.
16th play of the drive with 32 seconds to go here in the first half. Toppings with plenty of time. Now he's running out of it, but gets away from the pass rush and goes out of bounds. Whoa, he is hit late over there on the sideline, and the flag comes in. Darian Anderson was one of the people over there on the tackle, but I think we're going to have a personal foul on that hit right at the far sideline.
Dead ball. Personal foul. Number 44, defense. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Toppings is an aggressive runner, but let's see. That's tough. I mean, he was in the field of play when he hit him. And he wasn't sliding. I don't think it was a vicious hit. I mean, you got a quarterback running the football.
And he really needed to get out of bounds with no timeout, so that creates more urgency on the defender's part to try to keep him in. But now it's first down yardage, or first down because of the penalty. 1st and goal to go at the 4. Toppings under some pressure, steps up in the pocket. Now he's tackled. They're going to have to hurry to the line of scrimmage and spike it to stop the clock.
Yeah, this is where you want to pass the ball. You're in throwing situations. By you running the ball as a quarterback, you're better off throwing the ball out of bounds, because now you're only going to have one more play before the half.
And Quinteris Toppings stops it with 6 seconds to go. And unless you throw something very quick to the end zone, you're probably going to take field goal here and go in with an opportunity to have a 3-point lead.
And just think, it was first down. If he throws that ball away, then you're talking it becomes 3rd down with 15, 16 seconds left. You can go for it. He elects to try and run the football. Defense wants him to run in that situation. And now, instead of them getting 7 points, they're going to end up with a field goal attempt.
And Toppings kneeling on the sideline there, knows he made a mistake at that time, but the senior from 8 Mile, Alabama.
You know what? Now I guess they're going to take a delay of game because the ball's on that left hash. Tougher angle to kick the ball, so they're willing to move it back 5. I turn it down. The kickers don't like that angle. In the college game, keep in mind the hash marks are a lot wider than they are in the NFL. So if you get close on that left hash, that's a pretty harsh angle, sharp angle to kick it through. So they want a little bit more distance and a little bit easier kick 5 yards further away.
David Albert attempting this from 27 yards. And it is good. David Albert, as time expires here in the first half, at least according to the scoreboard clock, and Alabama State finishes off an impressive march. Not exactly the way they wanted to, but they come out of it with 3 points and a 10-7 lead at the break.
And Anytime you can go on the road and have any type of lead at halftime versus the defending conference champion for 2 consecutive years, you have to be proud of your boys from Montgomery, Alabama. This team showing some fight here in the first 30 minutes of play.
Talk about a drive. 19 plays, 70 yards, 6 minutes and 48 seconds. That's the way they want to do it. The only thing they probably like to have back is to try to get a touchdown rather than a field goal. Well, we've had a lot of penalties, but now we're going to have a lot of excitement as we enter the halftime locker room, and we're going to see the sounds of dynamite and plenty more for you at the half, with Alabama State leading Alcorn State 10-7 at the break. We'll be back with more in a moment.
On the campus of Livingstone College since the first game was played there in 1892. The birthplace of that original contest etched in stone, and guarded by the school's ever-present Blue Bear mascot. During that inaugural game, players donned hand-fashioned uniforms and homemade cleats. As snow drifted onto the gridiron crafted on the school's front lawn, the teams fought through 2 45-minute halves on that cold December afternoon, with Biddle College, now Johnson C. Smith University, being declared the winner, 5-0. Playing for nothing more than the love of the game, the original cast, including Livingstone's J.W. Walker and W.J. Trent, and Biddle College's Charles Shute, launched the dream of HBCU football, which has lasted nearly 125 years. Now, their dream will live on each December with the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl.
Welcome back to Lorman, Mississippi. We're at the half. Sounds of dynamite. The Alcorn State Marching Band performing at halftime. And as we take a look at the SWAC conference, the bigger picture here, of course, the preseason polls have the 2-time defending champs, of course, winning the East. And we go with the SWAC from the band. And, of course, in the West Division, that's anybody's race according to a lot of the preseason prognosticators.
It is. A lot of people fall in love with Prairie View, but they stumbled out the gate, really struggled in their first victory to open up their new stadium versus Texas Southern. They got the victory, though. And, you know, and I almost say, I see why you like Prairie View. They came on strong. Willie Simmons, the first-year head coach, had a lot of success, scored a lot of points. But you have to show me, you have to prove to me you can beat Grambling. And Grambling's been the cream of the crop in the Western Division. I think this game right here is really going to have long-term implications. Alabama State, hey, cat's out of the bag. Brian Jenkins, the coach, this team is going to be better. And they've got to knock off Alcorn. And right now they're up by 3. So this game has long-term implications in terms of what we expect to see down the line.
Take a look at the early standings in the SWAC right now. A lot of course, non-conference games. We did have a conference game between Prairie View and Texas Southern, which Prairie View won a thriller 29-25. We could go to open the season, but
I'll give you a surprise team. I think Texas Southern.
Okay.
I think they have probably the most dominating wide receiver this conference has seen in a while. And Griffin, the kid who's 6'6", got blazing speed, great body control. Plays basketball for them as well. But the most offensive weapons total, if you ask me about which offensive unit has the most players, probably Southern. I mean, you know, they got Austin Howard, quarterback, Leonard Tillery, the running back, who's all conference. They've got some offensive linemen, and I think they could have something to say. A lot of people are sleeping on them. They've been down for a little bit. They're not eligible for the Celebration Bowl. They've got some APR issues, but they're going to have something to say about who represents this conference in the Celebration Bowl.
And of course, we're going to be making more than our share of appearances right here following this action on ESPN's family of networks next Thursday. Arkansas Pine Bluff is right back here, as we will be, against Alcorn State. And then Saturday, we'll move over to Jackson, where the Jackson State Tigers will host Grambling State. And that'll be a good one. And you see the schedule as we move out a little bit later on in the year.
Stop the press. Now, you talk about all those other games, that's great. Forgot about the biggest one, October 29th. You know how they call the Rose Bowl the granddaddy of them all?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, the baddest of the baddest games in all of HBCU football is the Magic City Classic.
Well, I was leaving room for you to hype that one.
Alabama A&M versus Alabama State. We met some Alabama State Hornet fans today.
Right.
They were talking about they're getting ready for the Classic. That's
Right.
how big it is.
Everybody around here talks about the Classic, especially in the state of Alabama. Marquise Warford going around the corner for a touchdown early, but Alabama State leads. Alcorn State 10-7 at the break. Back up in the booth with my partner Jay Walker. Eric Clemens here with you. So glad to have you with us here on this Saturday evening. And Jay, it's time now for one segment that you like, the Give Me Five. You know, we go to places and
We'll give you 5.
you're going to give me 5?
5.
And then not 5 like that. But
Oh, no.
Okay.
Come on. You know
All right.
better than that. You
All
know
right.
better than that. But here we go. You know, we're down here in Mississippi. Very historic. I mean, the stadium is called Spinks Chasm
Right.
Stadium. You need to know some people here in Alcorn. I call them the Alcorn State legends. Jimmy Giles was Doug Williams' right-hand man when he played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, All-Pro, one of the legends down here at Alcorn State. Number 4. Wait for it. Marino Castle. We
Yep.
saw him walking around,
Right.
built the program. Every program you go to, they're going to have a legendary coach/AD guy, you know, whether it's Jake Gaither or Eddie Robinson. And here at Alcorn, it's the Godfather, Coach Castle. Fantastic guy. We saw him early. Always good to see him. Number 3, how about let's go to Green Bay. Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, their go-to guy. A lot of people don't realize Donald Driver, alumnus of here at Alcorn State University, one of the good ones. Who do you think the next one should be at number 2?
Well,
Come on, man. We're not talking about Air 2 McNair. We're talking about Air McNair.
I was thinking he might be number 1.
He might be number 1, and, you know, I can see why. I mean, obviously, you know how he wowed everybody, was a finalist for the Heisman Trophy from Alcorn, had every NFL scout finding their way down here to Lorman, Mississippi. He was the crowd barrier, torchbearer for HBCU football, one of my rivals in our era of black college football. But Steve McNair, I don't think anybody did it better, and he was that sweet. If he's number 2, then it's going to take a lot to really knock off
quite
Steve
a lot.
McNair.
I think I know who number 1
But
is.
I found one. You know, I like history. You know, Steve McNair is going to have a field named after him one day, but Medgar Evers has an airport named after him in Jackson, Mississippi. Civil rights attorney, civil rights pioneer, has a statue on campus. And more importantly, don't not forget, he played running back here for Alcorn State. So, when you're getting it done on and off the field, in the classroom, outside the classroom, and on the football field, on the gridiron, you have to give credit to that. That's a pretty impressive list. And there are a couple guys that couldn't make the list. Sorry, it's called Give Me 5.
Right.
So some of the guys on the bubble, the commissioner, Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, is Dennis Thomas. He was an All-American football player here. And how about Leslie Frazier?
Yeah,
NFL
former Bear.
coach. Yep, former
NFL
Bear.
coach.
Stuff there. So that's my Give Me 5 names you got to know for Alcorn State with the legends. What do you think about it, EC?
I think it's a very impressive list. Some people who didn't get their degrees from here, Michael Clark Duncan, the actor, attended. Alexander O'Neal, the musician, they didn't make it, but that's a good list.
Sorry, Big Six, Marcus Hinton, John Theory, y'all were close, but I couldn't get you on the list, man.
We'll be back.
Preserved at Livingstone College. Has been preserved at Livingstone College since 1892. During the inaugural game, players donned hand-fashioned uniforms and homemade cleats. On the school's front lawn, the teams fought through 2 45-minute halves, with Biddle College being declared the winner 5-0. Today, the dream continues with the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl.
Back here at Spinks Chasm Stadium, 10-7, Alabama State leading Alcorn State at the break. And Eric Clemens and Jay Walker back up here in the booth at halftime. And now time for another segment a lot of fans wait for.
Yeah, it doesn't make me too popular, because I tell it like it is.
You're going to upset somebody. Somebody's got to be number 1. Somebody's got to be down.
We just saw the preview for the Celebration Bowl, and it's all about getting to the Celebration Bowl. Well, how about the power ranking? Right now, the teams I think have the greatest shot. I think that number 5 is Grambling. Head coach Broderick Robbs has the G-men there. There have been a lot of people falling in love with Prairie View, but I think you got to knock off Grambling. The G-men done a good job of restoring the roar. The number 4 team, look out. North Carolina Central, Jerry Mack. You know, say what you want about them, they're not sneaking up on people anymore. They beat North Carolina A&T the last game of the regular season for the 2nd consecutive year. No more excuses. I like the Eagles.
Okay.
What do you think? You saw them.
Bethune Cookman, they're physical. They got some good skilled players. They can get it done, and they got a good coach. Sims is picking up right where the last coach left off.
They had a down year last year. They went 9-2.
Right.
They lost one game in conference and one to an FBS opponent. Look out for the Wildcats. They're going to be around all season long. And number 2 team, we're watching them. Alcorn State, they're in jeopardy. They lose tonight, I'm dropping them quick. They got to
keep winning to stay in here, right?
At home, yeah. So they're number 2, the cream of the crop in the SWAC the past 2 seasons. They've been good. And number 1, they would say the champ is here. To beat a man, you got to beat the man. Nobody's beat the man yet. North Carolina A&T, Tariq Cohen, the most dynamic weapon in HBCU FCS football, period. He's phenomenal. They're going to be pretty good. Watch out, so you're going to have to watch them. And 2 teams that couldn't make it. I put them on the bubble. First time in a long time. South Carolina State has not been in my Power 5. Buddy Pugh and the Bulldogs, they have to prove something to me. And on the bubble also as well, a lot of people predicted Prairie View over Grambling. They've stumbled. They don't look the same. Second-year coach Willie Simmons, he's going to have to get them going in order to play them well into the top 5.
All right, that is your Power 5 rankings from Jay, and Jay and I will be back shortly to begin the 3rd quarter of action here as we get one of the touchdowns for Alabama State, which is up by 3. Presented by McDonald's. We're here at Spinks Cassim Stadium on the campus of Alcorn State University here in Lorman, Mississippi. And we're going to take a look at the first half numbers as Alabama State leads it by 3.
The rushing yard, Alabama State starting to establish control of the line of scrimmage. That's why they've got the lead. Neither team is throwing the football extremely well. One of these quarterbacks going to have to step up and start passing the football. But I like the 3rd down conversion rate for Alabama State on key drives, 3 of 9, including 1 for 1 on 4th down when they've gone for it. Penalties. If they don't get their act together, somebody's going to get hurt by all these penalties. A lot of unnecessary roughness type penalties, which they've got to work on.
Total of 12 in the game between both teams for 131 yards. Back deep to receive. The second half kickoff for Alcorn will be Tavares Johnson. Trevor Vincent is going to boot it from about his, from his 35-yard line. As we'll get the second half underway. This one's going to come down to Johnson at his 10. And Johnson gets it out to the 25-yard line before he is wrestled down. 15 yards on the return. That's where Alcorn State will take over. 1st and 10. So if you're Coach McNair, it's his official coaching debut as the head man here, even though he's been an assistant on the staff for 4 or 5 seasons. What do you say to your team at halftime? What are you trying to get them to do and establish here in the second half?
I think the defense has played a good job. You tell the defense, keep it up. They've done well offensively. We're going to give you some help. Tell Footman to settle down, complete some passes, and you have to find somebody to go along with Marquise Wolford to carry the load.
The handoff, nice nifty footwork. Cutting it back was DeLance Turner. He got it out across the 35 to the 36-yard line, and he picked up 1st down yardage, picked up 10.
You see Alcorn coming out trying to do a little tempo to start off the second half.
And we have a new quarterback, Noah Johnson, in the game now, and Noah Johnson throws a dangerous pass all the way across field, which is incomplete, but we do have a flag down on the play. Johnson, a redshirt freshman, 6 foot 185 out of Tampa, Florida. And coaches here call him a mini footman, has many similar skill sets.
Number 666 is 75, 15 yards, still 1st down.
That's that chop block. Anytime one lineman is engaged with a defender, then the other lineman cannot block him below the waist. When you do that, they call that the chop block. They call it on number 66, Dade, and 75, Thigpen. They're going to call it all the time this year. They've got an extra official on the field this year just to see penalties like that.
And Noah Johnson starting the second half here at quarterback. He'll fling it over the middle, and that was incomplete. The coaches also told us, Coach McNair, offensive coordinator Fred Keiss, that he is an inconsistent passer as well. 2 passes that went, 1 across the field and 1 over the middle there, weren't on the mark.
Yeah, they called him the miniature footman, but they hope he throws the ball a little bit better than Footman. And you can tell he's been in, and they've called 2 consecutive pass plays trying to get the young freshman going. And I think this maybe more of a wake-up call to Footman if they're going to need him to play a little bit better. And they bring in the backup.
2nd down and 25 after that first down chop block penalty. And Johnson going long, far side. Up for grabs. Did it catch him and stay in bounds? They call him incomplete.
Ooh.
What an effort over there on the far side of the field by Norlando Fields.
I thought it's on the far side from us. I thought he got a foot down. I'd like to see that one. I would take your time if you're Alcorn. He leaves high, and I thought I saw a foot come down. Oh, he's out of bounds.
Well out of bounds.
That was close. Wrong foot, but outstanding job going up to get the ball at its highest point.
What an effort by the redshirt junior out of Brookhaven, Mississippi. Norlando Fields caught 3 passes for 21 yards in the offense back in 2015. Johnson keeping it near side, and Johnson finally going to be stopped and held up before he got to the 30-yard line. So it'll be 4th down, and Alcorn will have to turn it over on a punt.
This is something they're not used to seeing here at Alcorn, an offense that averaged 39.6 points a game last year, held at 7 points, and Alabama State with an opportunity to get the ball back and increase their lead.
Madden on the reception of the punt is met immediately at the 37-yard line where he caught it, and that's where Alabama State will take over. Have not seen Lenoris Footman, the starting quarterback, on the sideline yet, so they may still be attending to him in the dressing room. There he is coming out, no pads, a definite limp, so I would think his day is done. And he's coming out next to Raydarius Anderson as well, who is not wearing any pads. So 2 big weapons on the offense, not in pads for the second half. Not great news for Coach Fred McNair and company. Quinteris Toppings opening the second half at quarterback, and he gives on the inside play, and he gives it to Marquell Beckwith, and Beckwith picks up 2 yards off the left side down to about the 39-yard line.
Beckwith, backup running back. Third is the backup because Khalid Thomas is out. He got banged up. We haven't seen him return either, so physical nature of the first half took its toll on some of the big playmakers for both squads.
Willis White was in motion that time, and Toppings is going to keep it and get out to the 34-yard line, where he's brought down about 3 yards short of first down yardage. So it'll be 3rd down and 3 for Alabama State. Ended the first half with a long march of 19 plays and resulted in a field goal. And now they're trying to pick up where they left off. 19-play, 70-yard drive to end the first half for the Hornets. And there's a handoff inside. I think they'll give him first down yardage. It looked like Beckwith again, very close to the sticks as he banged his way out across it. It'll be close, maybe close enough to measure. We'll see where the spot is. So I'm going to tell you something. Short. I'm not going to call this one, okay?
No, they're not even
I'm just going to leave it alone.
Yeah, they're not even measuring. They're saying he's almost a full yard short.
Okay.
Alabama State elects to punt.
Trevor Vincent deep to punt in the rugby style is a low bouncer and be fielded back at about the 17-yard line and met hard as he tried to create some room back on his own 13-yard line for a loss of yardage on the punt. -1. Alabama State is leading by 3. It's Bringing the Flavor, brought to you by McDonald's. We're back here at Spinks Cassim Stadium on the campus of Alcorn State University, where Noah Johnson is at least the signal caller for Alcorn State for now. Lenore's footman limped back onto the field, minus pads. So the assumption is he's definitely done for the night. And here's Johnson trying to buy some time, running out of it, and throws that one away out of bounds. He was pressured heavily on that play, got outside the pocket and threw it away.
Yeah, he's going to have to grow up tonight. I mean, just a freshman quarterback, Noah Johnson is, but when the backup quarterback comes in, when the starting quarterback's not a really good passer, you know they're just going to stop the run at all costs and try to blitz Noah Johnson from all over the football field to confuse the young man.
Johnson hands it off, and a lot of room on the far side before he gets out. Looks like it might have been Marquise Warford who makes an appearance back in the game. He left with a ding earlier in the contest, but nice to see him back out there in the field, and he exploded off the left side that time.
And that's what you want. You need your big-time player to step up. Take the load off the freshman quarterback, make a play, pick up the first down.
Johnson getting the signal and the play call from the sideline as he's calling the changes at the line of scrimmage, and now looking downfield again through the air, has a man open behind the defense, and he didn't put enough air under that one, maybe, as he was looking for Norlando Beals and appeared to overshoot him a little bit. Quarterback?
Oh, he was getting hit. It took a lot for him to get that throw off. As we take a look at the replay, I mean, I give him credit for standing tall. He knew he was going to get hit. Guy comes free release on him, dead on him. Can't step into the throw. Took a shot. Still hung in there tough and just overthrew his receiver by about a yard or so. But that shows you nice poise, a guy that's willing to stand in the barrel and throw the ball.
And a big hole opening up the middle. And that is Marquise Warford. And Warford has first down yardage once again as he gets it out to the 38-yard line.
So you see they're making the adjustment. The double team on the big nose tackle, Roderick Henderson, are able to get Warford in space on the second level where he can do damage.
And Warford, this time off the far side, fights off the tackles and gets it out across the 40 to the 42-yard line. He picked up 4 before he was brought down by Ishmael Arisman.
Yeah, but they're starting to hit him. I mean, and you can tell Warford, those hits are starting to wear on him. Everything they're doing now, tough tackles on him. They're trying to get bodies around him.
Running mostly off the edges. He's got 14 carries for 65 yards in the game and a touchdown. And Johnson's pass to the far side is incomplete. He was looking for Charles Hughes that time. Hughes, the 2016 Peyton Award winner for this offense. Big expectations for him, and also the chemistry major.
When you say Peyton Award at the MEAC SWAC Challenge,
right?
They give away a Walter Payton Award recipient there, because the Peyton Award is the Heisman Trophy for FCS football. He didn't win that one.
Rallying the bad snap is Johnson, who keeps it on the far side. Loose ball, but I think it got out of bounds before a couple of Alabama State defenders could get their hands on it. Ishmael Arisman stripped it out of there, but I think Alcorn State is going to retain control.
It makes the first guy miss, but they're coming from all angles here, and you said it right. Good job by Ishmael to knock the ball out. It's going to be tough. Coach McNair, you want to be the head man, you got to earn their first victory tonight. Backup quarterback in the game.
And redshirt freshman, not a lot of experience, so they're going to be throwing all kinds of looks at him, I would guess. Try to force him into making some mistakes. High punt. Fielded inside the 10-yard line. And Caleb Madden was back deep, but we have flags down on the play. Caleb Madden caught it falling backwards at his 6. A 49-yard booming kick. And let's see how they sort it out with the flags.
Block in the back. return team. Number 24, half the distance to the goal, first down.
Robert Pritchett with the penalty on there, the illegal block in the back. Alabama State takes over when we come back. On NFL Sunday with us right here on ESPN at 10 a.m. Eastern, NFL Insiders Sunday edition with all the injury news, fantasy updates, and early breaking stories. Then at 11, the new Sunday NFL Countdown crew of Chris Berman, Trent Dilfer, Charles Woodson, Matt Hasselbeck, and Randy Moss take you right up to kickoff. As always, both shows are also streaming live on the ESPN app and Watch ESPN. Backed up in the shadow of your own goalposts, and not much going on in the passing game for either team.
100 yards passing. Let's not forget the punter completed the pass as well. So they got to figure out how to throw the ball. Both of these teams, no consistent threat of passing at all.
Toppings on the give that time. Darrell King didn't get much off the right side. In fact, he lost 2 on the play. One of those to bring him down, Darian Anderson, the linebacker. So they're getting a little closer to their own goal line. 2nd and 12. Toppings rolling out. Fires far side and has his completion on the far side as he hits Josh Davis to give him a little breathing room out to the 7-yard line. All the gain of 6.
It's just so ironic, the lack of passing, because call it like it is. This is the SWAC. It's the home of Steve McNair. You had Darnell Kennedy, Tavares Jackson, all these legends throwing the ball, and this deep into a game on 100 yards passing. And there's some guys that are open. They're just missing. It might not be a good time for Toppings to make a play in the passing game.
Toppings 4 of 13 in the game for only 39 yards so far. This time rolling near side, throwing back far side, and he got a lot of air under that one. Incomplete, but we got a flag down on the far side of the field.
This is on the defense. This will be a bailout call because I don't think that ball was really catchable. You see the signal from the Alcorn fans. They're saying it wasn't catchable. And I would tend to agree.
And Toppings got popped on that one as he let it go as well.
Number 23, on an eligible receiver. 10 yards, automatic first down.
DeAndre Smith on the holding penalty that time in the secondary.
But you see him get popped. And the ball's going away, even though it's not catchable. That's the hold. You see the hold. And I don't think it was on 23. I think it should have been 27.
Okay.
With the hold. But if it's holding, it doesn't have to be catchable.
Right.
Pass interference, and the ball must be in the vicinity, but not for a holding call. So
that was Daniel Franklin holding Darrell King, who had swung out of the backfield. Try for that one. Toppings holds on to it, met just after he crossed the line of scrimmage. Might have picked up 2 on the play, and Michael Hearns brings him down on the stop.
And I'm a little surprised that they've not made a quarterback change at Alabama State. They keep 2 quarterbacks ready. And Juwan Young Battle looked pretty good last week versus Texas San Antonio.
And that's Kenyon Brantley down on the field right now and getting helped up by the training staff.
Brantley, one of the guys that they need to really step up, replacing Deion McNair, who was a mainstay on the defensive line for Alcorn. Their captain, one of the better interior defensive linemen in the conference. And that was a question mark I had when I looked. Who's going to step up and replace McNair in the trenches? And Brantley was one of those guys they wanted to do that, along with Deron Bonds and Darrell Henderson. That's a good look there at Juwan Young Battle. And the quarterback battle not getting his number called this week.
Darrell Henderson comes on to replace the injured Brantley at one of the defensive tackle spots. Here's Toppings running out of time, and down he goes. The first one to get to him or finish up was Ramonte Bell, a 6', 286-pound defensive tackle out of Barlow, Florida, for a loss of 5.
That's the pressure they want. So we don't need Deion McNair. When you've got Monte Bell stepping up and making some plays. Just coming to get him too much time and good persistence, able to get to the quarterback.
Third down and long, 3rd and 14. Quinteris Toppings. Looking far side. A little high, but has his man. It'll be well short of first down yardage as he hits Josh Davis. And Josh Davis picked up 8 on that play, but not nearly enough. So Alabama State's going to have to punt it away. And again, the passing games struggle just a little bit on both sides.
Yeah, minimal, not really. There's no fear on any team for the passing game, and that's a bad thing considering you got Josh Davis, the fastest guy in the land, on the football field. But right now they've not been able to establish any type of consistency.
Collins Moore deep to receive the punt, waving everybody off of it. He bounds short and bounces against Alabama State. It's down maybe inside the 40-yard line. So a bad bounce on that one. We have another flag down on the field. That punt gets 18 yards. You heard the announcement. There is no foul on the play, so they pick up the flag. 10-7. Alabama State leading by 3. Alcorn, though, in great field position. Football is back September 12th with the annual doubleheader to cap off Week 1. At 6:55 Eastern, Big Ben, Antonio Brown and the Steelers take on Josh Norman and the Redskins. Then at 10:15 p.m., it's our West Coast matchup. The 49ers host Todd Gurley and the LA Rams. Our coverage begins with Monday Night Countdown at 5 Eastern on ESPN, also streaming live on Watch ESPN. And the game will have plenty of HBCU flavor from both sides of the ball.
And I think the one that stands out, Javon Hargrave, the tackle, a rookie. Here, and he's going to start for the Steelers at nose guard. We knew what a dominant performer he was for so many years for Buddy Pugh and the Bulldogs in South Carolina State. Well, now doing the same thing, had an impressive camp. Congratulations.
Alcorn with its best starting field position of the game at the 41. And there's Warford trying to find some room on the far side. Dips outside and is brought down after a pickup of about 4. He's down at the 36. Rams and Niners also with some HBCU alums.
Obviously, Tamara Hemingway drafted this year. First made the roster there with the LA Rams, tight end from South Carolina State, now National Football League.
And here's Warford trying to fight for some yards outside. He'll end up losing a couple on the play. And that'll set up 3rd and long, 3rd and 8.
Remember last week when we did the game with Alcorn versus Bethune? They were trying to get the ball to Warford, running the ball, and then they started motioning him away, using him as a decoy almost, but giving him the ball in space. I think it's time they go back to that. Give him a swing pass. He's got the moves. The first guy cannot bring him down, but I think it's such a compacted space he's trying to do too much, where it's very hard. And as we mentioned that, then break the huddle, and they put him in the slot. So I think this is a good move to put him in the slot and get him some ball in open space.
Warford coming in motion, and now Johnson on the roll has his man. He gets first down yardage as well as he hits DeLance Turner out of the backfield for a gain of 9 and move the sticks. First down yardage inside the 30 to the 29-yard line for Alcorn.
And that just happens when Warford lines up in the slot and you motion him. You forget about the running back that's in the backfield next to the quarterback in DeLance Turner. That's a good job, and I like when they get creative with using Warford as a decoy.
Big conversion there on 3rd and long. And Warford spins out of a tackle, gets some room. Warford, that's the kind of ability he has. He spins out, turns a sure loss into a 4 to 5 yard gain.
He's an edge-of-your-seat runner. You have to be on the edge of your seat every time he touches the ball. Should have been a tackle for loss in the backfield. Great balance. steps on the gas pedal and takes a play that would have lost 4 or 5 yards and ends up gaining 5 yards on it.
Warford 17 carries, 72 yards and a touchdown so far tonight. And that's running mostly off the edges. Not a lot of pounding up inside for Warford. This is his backup, Delance Turner. Turner, much bigger back at 6'1", 215, goes right up the gut and picked up about 3.
They could be a nice package to get a little change up. When you see Turner, he's your more traditional one-cut runner downhill. And Warford more the dancer.
And here's Turner again. First down yardage as he plows his way inside the 20 down to about the 16-yard line for 5 more. And he used his size and strength on that play as the defender went backwards. He was trying to make the tackle. Devin Santana was one of those who met him. But Delance Turner had all the momentum on that one. The Braves move into the red zone. 1st and 10 from the 17-yard line of Alabama State. Johnson stepping up, has plenty of room to run. Johnson will score.
You wonder how a quarterback that hasn't completed a pass gets so wide open to run the football. Not a threat throwing the ball, but able to take off running, the fresh legs from the freshman. You see the defense part like the Red Sea, goes in for the score and gives Alcorn the lead.
Alcorn attempting the point after. And they are inside of 10 seconds on the play clock now. It looks like Corey McCullough is going to be attempting the extra point. It's up and good. So an impressive march with the young quarterback Noah Johnson, the red shirt freshman, going in on the keeper and giving Alcorn State the lead at 14-10 with 2:49 to go here in the 3rd quarter.
That really gonna hurt you with his arm so far.
We're number one. We're number one.
But that was Marquise Warford saying the number 1. A lot of football left to be played.
Awful lot of football left to be played.
But I will agree, they're number 1 in the SWAC. Consecutive championships, have to give them credit. My power ranking, I've got them number 2. Now that's a little sore spot. But they did lose to North Carolina A&T last year.
Right.
Fantastic inaugural Celebration Bowl. But they got some concerns. They got to figure out what's football status going to be. More importantly, don't think for a minute that a Brian Jenkins coach football team is going to lay down when they're down by 4.
Palmer Graham, one of those back deep to receive the kickoff. And Marquell Beckwith, the other deep receiver, waiting for Corey McCullough's kickoff. As all of this now becomes a fight for who gets the right to play in that Celebration Bowl and represent the SWAC conference against the MEAC. Big fielded at the 5, Beckwith, and Beckwith met hard. We got a flag down on the play. Beckwith is met at about the 14-yard line. And Howard was one of those on the tackle. But again, we have a flag on the play on the far side of the field at the 29 of Alabama State.
There's too many penalties in this game by both teams. I mean, you just don't want one of these flags to have an impact on the game. And when you start affecting field position one way or the other, this becomes too much a part of the game. And you don't know if the best team clearly is winning.
In the return, holding number 14 of the kicking team, 10 yards, 1st down.
And this is great coverage. Watch him just blow up the blocker. Just run right through him, make the tackle. But unfortunately, they called holding on the kicking team as well.
Howard blows that one up big time.
And that's what I mean by the penalty. It's all for naught.
It was all for naught.
Fantastic individual effort. Look at this. I mean, we're approaching 200 yards in penalties. 11 on the home team here.
I think Fred McNair thinks the official should have noticed something else, not just a penalty on his team. And there have been a lot of them. Oh, okay.
Number 42.
Okay.
10 yards, first down.
So he had a legitimate argument that time. We didn't know, they did.
Yeah. But even so, it goes back to the number of flags being thrown. I mean, the guy got blown up. It was a blow-up play. And we always say you can call holding on every play.
Right.
On any college game. And Alabama State already had a loss. Now they're going to have more bad field position.
And on 1st and 10, this is King. And King gets out to the far side up to close to the 10-yard line, picked up 3.
And they really miss having Khalid Thomas in the game. He's a guy a lot like Warford a little bit in terms of he can catch the ball out of the backfield, can run routes. And without him, their offense just seems a little bit limited in their play selection.
Hornets started the last drive in the shadow of their own goalpost at the 3. Here's Toppings on the keeper, gets out across the 15. This drive starts deep in their own territory as well as Topping picks up 5 on the quarterback sweep play. Third and 2. And they looked like they gave that one to Alex Anderson, the bigger back, but he was met immediately and brought down for no gain, maybe gain of a half-yard on the play. That'll set up 4th and short. And from this field position, you got to punt it again.
You have to punt the ball again. And this time they need a better punt from their punter, but you can tell momentum's clearly changed towards the home team. Crowd getting behind it.
Collins Moore is deep to receive for Alcorn. The punt angled toward the near sideline where it hits and will roll dead and be downed at the 46. So a 39-yard punt with no return. Let's call it the 45-yard line. And Alcorn State with good field position once again and a chance to add to its 4-point lead.
Alcorn for their first.
As you heard there, Alcorn taking a timeout as well. Not a timeout?
I believe it was a sideline warning.
A sideline warning. Okay, I thought it was a timeout for Alcorn.
First one, and you have to give credit for Alcorn. Said the backup quarterback's in there, and for them to regain the lead, Warford really stepped it up with his play with some great runs, take the pressure off the young freshman quarterback. And now let's see if Noah Johnson can find a rhythm in the passing game. I still think he's got to complete a couple passes for his team to put points on the board.
This is McKenzie, stays in bounds, and McKenzie gets it into Alabama State territory inside the 40 to the 39-yard line, a 15-yard gain for Jaborian McKenzie on the reception.
Now watch how Johnson takes him up the field with the throw, so he doesn't have to turn his back to the line of scrimmage, leads him upfield just a little bit so he can gain momentum and pick up the first down.
Johnson keeps it around the corner. And he slides to close to first down yardage. He picked up 8 or 9 on the play before Ishmael Arismand brought him down.
And they were just going to blow this play up. Good job, Warford, abandoning the ball carry. Johnson takes the ball and makes something out of nothing.
And here's Johnson on the keeper again, following the lead block of Warford. All 5'10", 190 pounds of him. And he picks up 4 to move the chains again. Another first down for the Braves of Alcorn State, leading by 4. As we're inside the final minute of the third quarter. Quick swing pass. Lots of room on the far side. And that's Jaborian McKenzie once again with a nice catch and run to move the sticks once more before he's pushed out of bounds. A pickup of 13 on that one.
Continue to keep their foot on the gas pedal. High tempo. Getting plays called in a hurry.
McKenzie again near side. Has room. And he's down inside the 5-yard line. Close to another first down. And that'll be the final play of the third quarter. But of course, Alcorn doesn't want it to end. They're lining back up like we got more time left. Got to switch into the field, boys. Alcorn State driving and looking impressive, leading by 4 as we end the third quarter. No wonder Alcorn wanted to keep playing as the third quarter ended. They outgained Alabama State 136 yards to 28 in that third quarter and had 9 first downs to the Hornets 1. So they are hot and driving. Johnson keeping it and slammed down hard as he gets the ball down to the 5-yard line. And it'll set up a third down and short. 3rd and 1 at the 5-yard line.
That's the key. Great opportunity here to run the football, pick up the first down, get a fresh set of downs. I don't think you throw for the end zone here. You go ahead and try and pick up the 1 yard, get the first down, then put yourself in a position with a fresh set of downs to go for the end zone.
And now they're going to take a timeout. Redshirt freshman didn't like something down there. You certainly don't want the young player like this trying to put it on his back and, like you said, throw for the end zone.
Well, sometimes could be some communication problems when you're the backup quarterback, maybe not getting the signals in a timely manner or understanding the signals.
All right, tomorrow on ESPN we'll have the U.S. Open Men's Singles Championship match between the defending champ and #1 seed Novak Djokovic, I should say, and 3rd seeded Stan Wawrinka playing in his first Open final. Our coverage begins tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN and can also be seen streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. And Djokovic, 2-time Open champ, also winning in 2011 and last year 2015. So interesting 3rd and short call. I think I'm not a coach and I'm not going to play one on TV, but I think you give the ball to the young quarterback and let him use his feet here to see if he can pick up the first down.
Don't give it to Warford, huh?
No, I use him as a decoy. And Warford's not in the backfield right now. It looks like they've got back there DeLance Turner, who they give it to, and he pounds it inside the 5 and has plenty for the first down. So they'll get a fresh set, 1st and goal, spotted at about the 3-yard line after they get through. We have another flag down on the play, however, as DeLance Turner, the big 215-pounder, just took it right off the left guard.
You hate to see flags on a play like that. That was just like a power, just strength versus strength. Move ahead, move the pile, bang, bang type play. And on any team, this penalty's on any team, you almost wonder, unless it's something that we see was absolutely had to be called.
Play is a first down. Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 75, offense, 15 yards, first down.
Edric Thigpen getting unsportsmanlike, and
number 57.
no, it was Timothy Gardner.
But unless it's something that's, major, and if it's unsportsmanlike, you have to call that. You have to teach them how to play the game the right way. But I mean, that's costly. They pick up the first down. Now they're going back 15 yards. The unsportsmanlike penalty.
And we'll probably never know what was really said. It had to be something said because he didn't make any kind of illegal football move like a block. But unsportsmanlike conduct, so being fired up, he might have said a little bit too much after blocking on the run play. And it still looks like Edric Thigpen is the one very upset out there, even though they changed the call to 57, Timothy Gardner, the starting right tackle. Thigpen, the starting left guard tonight. And the clock is still running. We're inside 10 seconds, and Alcorn now just breaking the line of scrimmage. And there's the pass to McKenzie on the far side, and he stepped out of bounds. Boy, he pulled away from a couple tacklers down there, but he stepped out of bounds after only a gain of 1. He might have gone all the way had he stayed in there.
McKenzie, talented young man, transferred from Vanderbilt. He, along with Charles Hughes, supposed to be the go-to receivers for this football team. And I think we're yet to see Johnson complete a pass beyond the line of scrimmage. Everything's been behind the line of scrimmage. So you take your chances and move up a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage if you're Alabama State.
Johnson looking downfield, throws that one. It's McKenzie. He's got some room on the corner, and McKenzie dived for the pylon, but he is pushed out of bounds at about the 2, and he seems to be injured on the play. Ronnie Scott was the one who pushed him out.
Crossing pattern underneath the coverage. Spins him around and becomes a foot race, and this is the touchdown saving tackle by the secondary of Alabama State towards the end, Ronnie Scott.
Looks like they're trying to maybe handle a cramp or stretch out a muscle over there. Seems to be in some pain as the training staff attends to Jaborian McKenzie. Even though the stats don't count, we did see him catch a touchdown pass in the no contest game in the MEAC SWAC Challenge last week at Daytona Beach against Bethune-Cookman, where Warford was used as a decoy and McKenzie ran straight down the seam, pretty much uncovered for an easy touchdown. And it seems like in this situation, you can tell me, coaches with a redshirt freshman quarterback kind of dial the playbook back a little bit, give the young quarterback some things he can handle.
Yeah, they took away the vertical passing and said, we're just going to throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage. That way you're just using your pre-snap read. If we make the right call, you'll be okay. So I like this, put the Lance Turner in the backfield, the power back.
So on 1st and goal, now we get another whistle on the stoppage of play.
Alabama State.
Alabama State takes a timeout. Coach Jenkins not happy about something he saw out there on the field and complaining to the side judge.
All South Delta students report to your buses. All South Delta students report to
Keith
your
Dollar
buses.
is the side judge, and they still attend to McKenzie, who finally gets to his feet and walks on his own power on the sideline. 14-10 here with 13:07 to go here in the 4th quarter. Eric Clemens, Jay Walker. So glad to be here in Lorman, Mississippi on the campus of Alcorn State University. And take away about 100 penalties. We've seen both teams have opportunities to score, but the penalties have really made this one kind of choppy.
They've shown up at bad times, and Alcorn's been able to overcome some of theirs, even though they've been more penalized. You know, on that last play, if they could get a stop right here, that tackle by Ronnie Scott at the 2 or 3 yard line, because he could have given up on the play.
Right.
But just able to knock out McKenzie out of bounds just enough to give his team an opportunity to make a stop.
And that would be another big loss for Alcorn if McKenzie can't return. They've already lost Redarius Anderson to injury in this game, one of their receivers that they were going to rely heavily on this year. Johnson holds it, looking end zone, throws it up for grabs, but out of the reach of anybody over there.
Help me out here. Help me out. I'm trying to see if I'm right or if I'm wrong. Didn't they have 1st and goal, 3rd and goal on the 1 yard line, and then they got the 1st down,
yes.
And then they called a penalty to back them up 15. All right, but so it seems like you wouldn't be able to get a 1st down, but because it's dead ball foul,
right?
And then it was after the play, they do get an opportunity to get another 1st down.
Getting to the corner this time is DeLance Turner.
For the touchdown.
Back-to-back touchdown drives of Alcorn State of 40 and 54 yards. And now the Braves in control, leading by 10.
Going with the bigger back in the backfield, one cut, sprint to the pylon. Great job by the left side of the line for Alcorn State. Timothy Gardner and John Bolton allowing Turner to go into the end zone untouched.
Corey McCullough coming on to attempt his third extra point of the game, and it's right through the uprights. So Alcorn State leads it by 11, 12:54 to go in the third quarter. And they celebrate another touchdown. Band as we step inside the band hall for the AT&T Inside Access.
Phone already started blowing up early this morning. It's going to be packed at this game tomorrow. We got to represent, man. We got to look good.
Let's break it. Pause up. 1, Mr. B. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and ready and 6.
Band, in regards to HBCU, has become what we call a spectator sport, because guess what? You got just as many folk looking at the football team, they looking at you guys. We have to put on a show.
They work hard, all the bands here in the SWAC conference. The sounds of dynamite. Marching band, the director, Dr. Renardo Murray, working hard to put on a show as good as the football game.
Yeah, you know, I'm a former player, so I think it all starts with the team. You come to see the football team first, and then the band is like,
let's hope you do, because if you come to see the band first, it means your team is pretty bad.
Yeah. If they weren't winning a whole lot, you probably have a couple thousand less people here. But they have a good band. They had a great show at halftime and spelled out the word SWAC.
And Marquell Beckwith feels that kick, and he brings it out across the 20 to the 22-yard line, a 14-yard return for Beckwith on that one. And see what Alabama State can get started here. As they had a 10-7 lead at the half, but have given up 14 consecutive points to Alcorn State to fall behind now by 11 with 12:48 to play.
And a very disappointing. Give credit to the Alcorn State defense. I mean, they've done a great job just absolutely frustrating this Alabama State offense.
And the quick swing pass off the play fake comes to the near side.
Fouls on the carry. Franklin's tackle, second down.
Christian Nelson was the wide receiver who caught that one. Number 87 picked up 5. Alabama State second half, 3 possessions, 3 punts, 2 3-and-outs. So not much in the way of offense in the second half for this unit led by Quinteris Toppings, the senior quarterback from 8 Mile, Alabama. And Toppings firing far side. It's his receiver there is trying to fight for some extra yards. Would be maybe a yard short of the first down as he picked up 5. And that time he hit Nigel Lee on the far side.
And it's time for them to have a little sense of urgency. 12 minutes to go in the game. You're trailing by 11. I'd pick up the tempo. If you're going to attack Alcorn, I think you attack in the secondary. They've got 3 new starters in the secondary. Only 1 returning starter, and that's DeAndre Smith, the cornerback. I'd throw the football a little bit more.
Well, we thought where the spot was, it was going to be 3rd and less than 1, but now they give them the first down. So move the chains for Alabama State. Give inside and stacked up as soon as he got it for no gain. Alex Anderson.
On the play, second down.
Alex Anderson brought down by Stacy Gardner.
Thomas on the carry.
One of the leading tacklers along that defensive line for defensive coordinator Cedric Thomas in Alcorn State.
Cedric Thomas has done a fantastic job. I mean, this Alabama State offense, they've got some weapons, but they look like they are in slow motion tonight versus hungry, brave defense.
2nd and 9, Topic stepping up in the pocket. Now in some trouble, and down he goes. Call it a gain of maybe 2 yards as he escaped the sack. Just pulled the pile forward a little bit, and we appear to have an injured Alabama State player on the field. And struggling to get up that time. Looked like it was Samuel Jenkins, or possibly, yeah, I'm sorry, it's number 79, Jalen Ware. And Ware's gonna trot out of the game on his own power.
Third and about 7.
And this is something that Alcorn State did very well last year. They could get to the quarterback with certain blitz packages. They racked up a total of 46 sacks last season. Rolling out, Toppins firing near side, a little bit short, but a nice diving effort. And they say that ball hit the ground before Josh Davis could really corral. And a flag is on the field again, and perhaps
Davis said something.
Davis said something, or somebody on the Alcorn sideline, because there was really nobody else around.
Davis was clearly upset that it wasn't ruled a catch, and walking away, I saw the reaction as if he said something to the official.
And the way he just turned away from the officials as they talk about the preliminary call, he's not too happy about it at all. Josh Davis, the speedster, SWAC 60-meter champ.
The result of the play was an incomplete pass. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 1. Offense, 15 yards. 4th down. That's number 1's first unsportsmanlike.
Mississippi has a Texas on the Mississippi Department.
You can't really do that, because now you did get the first down, which is one bad thing. So you compound that by getting another penalty for 15 yards. And in the battle of field position, talk about Alcorn with an opportunity with a field goal to really put you down by 2 and a touchdown to put this thing away, because they're going to have good field position with the return man standing on the 50-yard line.
Collins Moore, number 19, standing back deep to receive, but again, no play.
We were paid. Previous play is under further review.
Now it's tough. What if it is a catch? And you penalize the kid 15 yards because he knew he had caught the ball, but
well, the ball did move. The trajectory changed as he made the dive back towards it. But I don't know if there's enough there to overturn it.
And it's almost all for naught, because it wasn't enough distance for the first down.
Right.
And the 15-yarder, so they're really going to punt it. And I think that's a pretty good job getting the arm underneath, but it seems like it's going to move. Got his hand underneath it, but it's sliding out. If they called it a catch, it wouldn't be enough to overturn it.
Right.
But since they didn't call it a catch, I don't think there's enough to overturn the incompletion as well. I'm not 100% sure at all whether or not he made that catch.
And now the poor kid says something because he's defending himself and saying, I caught it, and gets a flag for unsportsmanlike conduct.
And this will be a learning moment.
Yeah.
It's a learning moment. If he just goes back to the huddle, then maybe you think about going for it 4th and 1.
Stand.
So, took a lot of time to confirm that the call they made on the field stands. And Coach Jenkins talking to the young man, the 6-foot junior, Josh Davis, and Davis pleading his case, and Coach Jenkins smiled. You talk about the smile earlier?
He's not happy when he smiles.
Okay.
He's frustrated.
Certainly not happy with it. Collins Moore, number 19, standing back at just about midfield to field this punt. It's close to being blocked there. Moore catches it at midfield and is driven down immediately and driven backwards. Joshua Hill getting the tackle there. Alcorn State leading by 11. We've got 10 minutes and 11 seconds left in the third. With us on ESPN at 10 a.m. Eastern. NFL Insider Sunday edition with all the injury news, fantasy updates, and early breaking stories. Then at 11, the new Sunday NFL Countdown crew of Chris Berman, Trent Dilfer, Charles Woodson, Matt Hasselbeck, and Randy Moss take you right up to kickoff. As always, both shows are also streaming live on the ESPN app and Watch ESPN. Field position, definitely a story here in the second half. Alcorn has had great position. Of course, Alabama State most of this half has been backed up. And there's a mess up on the exchange of the handoff, loose ball on the field, and I do believe Alcorn may have gotten it back.
And the freshman Noah Johnson showing a freshman youthful mistake there, holding on to the ball a little bit too long on the exchange between he and DeLance Turner. Great job by Turner getting back into play. He's a little indecisive. You have to be decisive there, that knocks it away. And Alcorn very fortunate that DeLance Turner able to recover that fumble.
I didn't believe it. He had a chance once it squirted out there, but Turner, a great effort to cover it first and protect it to keep Alcorn State with possession of the football. It'll be 1st and 20 after the 10-yard loss on that, or 2nd and 20, I'm sorry, after the 10-yard loss on that exchange. Johnson throwing far side, threw it high, well covered. On the far side of the field was Charles Hughes. And on the coverage was Theron Presley, their best covered corner for Alabama State. He was draped all over.
You have to go conservative play selection here. 3rd and 20. You've got an 11-point lead. I don't know if I throw the ball downfield. Maybe design run or a draw, because you don't want a sack or a fumble, strip fumble or interception. So it'll be interesting to see what direction offensive coordinator Fred Kice goes, leading by 11 on 3rd and long.
Are looking downfield with Johnson. Threw that one high, and oh, it is right through the hands of Theron Presley back there. He was looking for Jaborian McKenzie, but it was just what you talked about.
Yeah.
A little off target with the throw, almost interception.
Almost an interception, which would have given Alabama State for the first time good field position. They dodged the bullet there with the fumble as well as the almost interception on the last play.
Speaks to the aggressiveness of Fred McNair as well. I mean, he's got the young quarterback. And he didn't let up on the playbook at all. Caleb Madden back deep to receive this punt effort of Corey McCullough. I'm sorry, not McCullough, Hayden McCraney. And McCraney gets a favorable bounce. That one will be down and close to the 10-yard line, maybe inside the 10, where they wave it down at the 8. So Hayden McCraney with a nice bounce on that punt, 53 yards total. And again, Alabama State's going to be backed up pretty far, trying to make something happen with Quinteris Toppings leading the way, and again a game where we haven't seen a whole lot of success in the passing department. It's the 3rd time in the last 4 drives they were pinned inside their own 10-yard line, Alabama State. So you are not winning the field position battle with offensive starting position like that.
And in this type of game, you just figure they're going to have to get a big play to score. I don't know if they can have a long drive down the field.
Topping stepping up in the pocket now, running out of room, and he'll go down. Lose maybe a couple on the sack. As he looked left, he looked right, and he just didn't have anywhere to throw it.
Yeah, they're struggling. I mean, they're collapsing the pocket. They're keeping him in the pocket, but Alcorn's playing man-to-man. You know, as a quarterback, you have to get excited. When you get man-to-man coverage across the board, you think if I complete one good pass, one slip tackle, it's a big play. But there's no timing right now for the Alabama State offense. It's almost like, you know, they're just playing sandlot football right now because of the pressure they're receiving from Alcorn.
Loss of 2 yards on that sack. Terry Whittington, one of the tacklers there. There's a completion on the far side of the field, and they're going to call that one incomplete.
And that's where you don't go with the football. They're playing man-to-man across the board. The only place they were going to double team was at the top of your screen, the top half of the field. Safety buzzing over there. That's the only place where there's 2 defenders, and he went there instead of going one-on-one, and fortunate that ball wasn't intercepted.
Beckwith was the intended receiver that time and never had possession of that one as he went to the ground.
Look, this is straight man. Everybody get a man. I've got him.
On 3rd and 12. Throwing deep down the near side, and that one is incomplete. As on that play, he was looking for 87, Christian Nelson, wide receiver on the deep pattern down the near sideline. And it seems like if these quarterbacks are forced into obvious passing situations, I mean, it's hard enough for established quarterbacks to make something happen, but young quarterbacks without a lot of experience, it can get a little ugly, I guess.
Yeah, and they're just, you know, when Khalid Thomas left the game, they just really, the offense just changed. His versatility and threat out of the backfield. I don't think they just had a backup plan for it.
And we have another whistle.
Alabama State, their second charge of the half.
Now, Alabama State forced to take another timeout. Must have seen something they don't like on the special teams there.
And you can't take a timeout when you're trailing and you're on the road and you're going to need the ball back. You're going to need those 2 timeouts. And there hasn't been any dire situation in which they need to do it. And it's just one of those days. I mean, this team is tougher, but offensively, they got to show us something.
Play clock was running out there and it forced them to take the timeout. You see the game summary. 21-10 right now in favor of Alcorn. And Toppings only 57 yards through the air, 56 yards rushing. Johnson, 62 yards, 7 rushes for 50 and a touchdown.
Oh, bad punt.
Favorable bounce, however, it goes over the shoulder of Collins Moore, and I guess the question is whether he touched it or not as it went over his right shoulder.
A good job by Alabama State to pick up the ball and run it all the way into the end zone, and I'm sure we're going to have a replay on this to see.
Dylan Reneker was the guy who picked it up.
It hit him.
I think it hit him on the back of the right shoulder pad.
Yep. Let's see. Yep. I think it hit him.
And of course that would be a muff. They won't advance that one. And the ref threw the beanbag, meaning it was touched by the receiver on the play. You got to get out of the way of that one, correct?
Yeah. Stand away from it. It was a bad punt. Came at him hard, and the call on the field is that it did touch him. They take a look at it. Right there on the helmet and shoulder pad.
Reneker picks it up, and it cannot be advanced on the muff. If it's caught and he's making football moves with it and running around and fumbles, that's another thing, but a muff punt.
That's a great job of recognizing the ball might have touched him. And
now we have a timeout on the field.
Now, Alcorn, the first charge of the half.
And I think they want to, this is the timeout, they want to challenge whether or not the ball hit the receiver. And I think either way, definitely not enough to say it didn't hit him.
Right.
And it appears.
Yeah, it certainly appeared to me that it hit him on the right helmet and shoulder pad.
Well, this right there.
Yeah, it seemed like the rotation changes a little bit. We have a field angle too. This one might show it better.
See, it's going straight. It's going straight at him. And then he goes down. Then it starts to go a little bit to the left.
And Collins Moore throwing his hands up going, no way that touched me. But again, from this angle and to our eyes here with our camera shots, it looked like it did. And the trajectory of the ball might have changed ever so slightly after hitting him somewhere on the right shoulder. Needless to say, Alabama State gets possession of it back in great field position at the 43-yard line of Alcorn, and they need a score here. Inside play, and that one is given to Darrell King, and King picks up 4 off the right side.
They caught the break, but I still think you need to go hurry up. You have to pick up the tempo You've got 7.5 minutes left. You only have one timeout. Yes, you want to score, but you're going to need that clock at some point. You're down by 2 possessions. You're going to need to get that football back, so I would try and score in a hurry.
Another inside handoff. King has plenty of room. Inside the 20. And King down inside the 10 to the 6-yard line.
The big fella finishing off the run. We talked about his size, 230 pounds. Nice hole up the middle behind Kerry Williams and bouncing off of would-be tacklers from Alcorn.
33 yards on that run. And now a little misdirection play as Quinteris Toppings kept it, and he has no gain on the play, I believe. Stopped right at the line of scrimmage, so it'll be 2nd and goal. Clock continues to run. We're inside of 7 minutes to go here in the contest, with Alabama State driving and trailing by 11. Inside handoff that time to Alex Anderson, who's met immediately. And it'll set up 3rd and goal. He picked up 1.
They're daring Alabama State throw the football. They've called consecutive run blitzes. Michael Hearns coming up from his outside linebacker position, making the tackle at the line of scrimmage. You have to do play action. I don't think you're going to be able to run the football.
Might be 2-down territory as well, trailing by 11. Throwing end zone. Did he hold it? He does. Touchdown. Nigel Lee. And Alabama State gets right back in it on that touchdown strike.
Playing man-to-man coverage. How do you hurt man-to-man coverage? Crossing route slant patterns. This is just a nice throw. They're blitzing the linebacker. They were selling out against the run again and stuck it right in the stomach of Nigel Lee for the score.
Diego Sama was trying to reach in there for the ball to knock it away. Could not. Lee held on to it, and it is a touchdown. A 6-yard scoring pass from Quinteris Toppings to Nigel Lee, the true freshman out of Virginia. And now they're going to go for 2 to make it a 1-score game. Toppings under heavy pressure, got it away and got it in there in time. Complete to Darrell King. The 2-point conversion is good, and now we got a ball game.
Now you got a ball game. Good team taking advantage of a special teams mistake by Alcorn. It's a 3-point game.
A muff punt gives Alabama State new life, and they go down and take advantage of it with the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. Nigel Lee bringing them back. McDonald's, I'm loving it. And in part by Dr. Pepper. It's a college football tradition. Back in Lorman, Mississippi, Alcorn State a little bit worried. They were up by 11, but a muff punt. A touchdown by Alabama State in the 2-point conversion when they were doing absolutely nothing offensively in the second half gives the Hornets new life, as Tavares Johnson is back deep to receive this kickoff, with Alcorn trying to nurse now a 3-point lead with just under 6 minutes to go in regulation. Johnson feels this one at his 9. And Johnson gets out to the 30-yard line, where he's brought down right there. And Alcorn State will take over on offense.
Now the play selection becomes interesting for Alcorn. The lead is down to 3. A little bit less than 6 minutes to go in the game. Do you throw it? I think Alabama State sells out. I think they say, if you complete a pass on us, you'll have it. But you're not going to be able to run the football. We're going to keep this quarterback in the pocket.
Just joining us, Lenoris Footman went out with a leg injury first half, and Noah Johnson, redshirt freshman, has been on ever since. Started the second half, and he, on the keeper, picks up good yardage, call it 7. before he's brought down by Courtney Berry. We haven't called the All-America linebacker's name too much in this one.
Have not, and he hasn't made that impact play, that tackle behind the line of scrimmage, the one where he comes up with a big stop. But this is the type of game where this situation where your big players come up and make big plays. They just need them to have a breakout play to get them the football back.
Both teams with one remaining timeout. Second and 3 is another keeper spinning off a tackle is Johnson. And Johnson gets out across the 40 to the 41.5-yard line. Move the chains. First down.
And this is the tackle, the play you have to make. Roderick Henderson, the big guy, right in the middle of your screen, gets through the double team and cannot hold on to the quarterback. Huge play by Noah Johnson. Missed opportunity by Roderick Henderson. How much does Big Roderick weigh?
He's down about 20 pounds to about the 350 mark.
Down from 380.
Yeah.
To 350. And I mean, he's a guy. That's what the NFL is looking for. Stuff the run. Force him to double team you.
Warford off the far side. Warford breaks into the secondary. He fumbled the football. Who has it?
Alabama State saying they have it. Alcorn had a couple chances to recover the fumble.
Alabama State does have it.
Whoa.
Brady Street was the one who knocked it out, number 6. And Alabama State recovers.
That extra effort. Good form tackle by Street. Ball's on the ground. And they're able to come away with it. Actually, that's number 8, Trayon Garnett, with a fantastic tackle to knock the ball away. And Alabama State recovers it. If you're Alcorn, you'd be saying, what happened?
Yeah.
They were on cruise control 4 or 5 minutes ago, and now
third lost fumble of the contest. And you know Coach Fred McNair is not too pleased about that. So again, Alabama State off a turnover in great field position on its own 44-yard line. On the delay, plenty of room on the far side, and close to first down yardage is Darrell King. He gained 8 on that one. And it's funny how one miscue, one turnover, or a couple in this case, can just change the momentum all of a sudden. Alabama State was not moving the ball at all. Now they're running crisp. They're moving it down the field and now threatening a few more yards to be within field goal range to try to tie this one up.
And ball security must protect the football. 2nd and 1, a good opportunity to try and go up top for a big play.
That time King trying to get around the corner on the far side, and he's met by a host of defenders. Ramonte Bell was there. Michael Hearns also there on the tackle. And so it'll be 3rd and short.
When it was 2nd and 1, that's when you take the opportunity to get Josh Davis involved. Fastest man on the field. He's lined up at the top of your screen, number 1, versus Diego Sama, who they've had some success throwing the football against. I don't know if I played so close. I try and become aggressive here and go for the big play.
And I don't know on the keeper if Quinteris Toppings, yes, he did get it across the 45, inside the 44-yard line for first down yardage. When he was first met, he was met right at the 45, but he pushed the pile forward. Strong kid, 6'1", 190 pounds.
And the problem with settling for getting the first down, you have to run twice to get it. Now the defense kind of knows, well, we can stop their run, so they're going to play you for the pass. And it becomes harder to pass, so you're losing the element of surprise.
And this is where a not so strong kicking game in the field goal department can hurt you as well, depending on the range of their kicker. And here on the keeper, it looked like Toppings that time got forward, maybe picked up a yard before he was brought down by Michael Brooks. Approaching the 2.5-minute mark to go in the contest. And Alcorn State clinging to a 3-point lead, 21-18.
Now number 40 in purple just checked in the game. That's Trey Farrell for Darian Anderson, the quarterback, start middle linebacker for Alcorn State. see if that has an impact on this game right now. Anderson had to run off the field. He's the guy that puts him in the right coverages when called upon.
Each team with one timeout. Copping. Looking for it all. Got a man behind the defense. And he underthrew it, but we have a flag down on the play. A couple, in fact. And sometimes on that underthrow, you get the defender trying to make a play, and he gets the pass interference.
Automatic first down.
And that's exactly what happened to DeAndre Smith there.
Now, do you want the pass interference or you want the ball thrown on the money for the touchdown? He's got him beat by about 5 yards. Not enough arm strength to get out there. But DeAndre Smith realized he was beat. Not going to let him catch a touchdown to take the lead. Smart heady play by DeAndre Smith after falling for the first move to recover and get the penalty flag.
12 penalties for 126 yards against Alcorn today. Pass swung to the far side. And he has his receiver over on that side of the field, and that is Chet LeVay. And LeVay spins forward for pickup of 7 on that play. We are inside of 2 minutes. Both teams with one timeout.
Still think you need to have a little sense of urgency if you're Alabama State. Don't allow the clock to be a reason why you can't walk out of this game with the play selection you want.
From this position, the field goal would be 37 yards as the runoff right tackle goes for only a yard as Darrell King was on the carry that time. So it'll set up 3rd down and just over a yard to go.
I'm getting up there. I want this first down. I know I have a timeout. I want to save that. You need 2 yards and you're going to let 20-odd seconds click off the clock. What happens if you get it? Then you're looking at the clock for every play selection that you make. Good second.
And second effort might have gotten in the first down. Maybe depends on the spot.
Oh, he got
where the official is standing. The side judge is going to spot him a little short.
Oh, wow.
And that first down, Darrell King on the carry. Looked like momentum carried him beyond the stick there.
And now you've got to use a timeout. And you wasted 25 seconds earlier that you had. It's tough, but
I'd love to see that again, where he actually went down. It looked like you said, he had a bad spot.
Yeah, when I saw the official come in from the sideline, from the far sideline, I did not like the angle he was taking. It made me think they were going to mark him short.
Field goal from here would be 35 yards.
So they needed to get to the 17-yard line. Let's take a look and see where he ends up. Got a surge, good second effort. I mean, he lands on the 17-yard line pretty close, at least the 17 and a half. They've got him marked back at the 18.
Well, this is ball game. I mean, if you run and get a first down, unless you go to the end zone to try to win it, well, that's all moot because now we've got David Albert here to attempt to tie the game from 35 yards out and from the left hash mark. That one is blocked. And Alcorn State will down it in the end zone. The special teams coming up big as David Albert has a low trajectory kick blocked as it crossed the line of scrimmage.
Hold up, we've got flags everywhere. And did I see Jenkins say that he called timeout or they called timeout?
Well, they're going to take a while to sort all this out. Did they try to freeze the kicker on the play?
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 1 of the defense. That is his first.
I'm not hearing this microphone, but unsportsmanlike conduct. Diego Sama. Wow, looked like that was Michael Brooks, number 94. And one of his assistants said they called timeout. There was no indication of a timeout call.
No.
I'm still going back to that spot. I wonder if they, and I don't think Jenkins challenged the spot when he called the timeout. They had some opportunities to come in here and pretty much steal the game at the end.
Right.
And a little bit of clock management, a couple timeouts that they burned.
And your kicker, David Albert, had not attempted a field goal so far this season, but that 35 to 40 yard mark is definitely the edge of the range of many field goal kickers in the SWAC here. They take a knee. That'll do it as they take the knee. And one more look at the block.
Take a look. You see two guys going up, and that's 25. Eric Foster, he said he's their playmaker. They put him in a position to make plays. He's got the uncanny ability of being 6'3" with speed and size, and that time showed the athleticism on the field goal block.
There's Fred McNair, just got the water bath there, getting his first victory, first career victory as a head coach in his home debut